So what's the blow? And nobody cared.
Well, you can't do.
And nobody cared.
Well, you can't do that here, but it still happens.
Okay.
But yeah, I remember. I remember the only thing you had to be careful up in Albuquerque and Boise, Idaho, out west. Well, more so in Boise because of the risk of wildfire. Albuquerque, there really wasn't a lot to catch on fire because it was kind of a lot like Arizona.
Yeah,
a lot of rocks and dirt.
Yeah, it's not. There's not a lot. Like if you, we were shooting bottle rockets off and all kinds because we're close to the border, so you can go get like super awesome stuff right across the border. By the way, you just go. It's like, can I have a stick of dynamite? They're like, sure.
There you go.
So we could blow up all kinds of stuff, and nobody cared. Everybody, and I'm talking our neighbors across the street. It was like going to a fireworks show.
Yeah,
they would spend thousands of dollars. It was incredible. But you never had anything to worry about, even though it was 120 degrees outside, because there's just dirt.
Yeah.
And I was wondering what it is here.
Dirt won't burn. It won't burn unless you pour gasoline on it.
Dirt don't burn, baby.
So in Nashville, it is illegal to use or sell fireworks within Davidson County limits, with the exception of properly permitted public displays.
Oh.
Violators can be found guilty of a misdemeanor and face a fine of up to $50.
Holy moly.
According to the Tennessean.
Now, where would we go?
That'll bank somebody. Bankrupt.
So you got to go just outside of there. Because the other day when we went to golf, there was a lot of the old, tents up with people selling stuff.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're up. They're up and running.
But that's outside of Davidson County. You can do a lot of stuff.
Well, I think you can sell it within, but it is
illegal to use.
Yeah, that's frowned upon.
Not even the what are those stupid things? The snakes. Remember those?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what they. I loved those as a kid.
Oh my Lord!
But yeah, the snakes and well. Everybody, especially us when we were kids, loved those Roman candles.
Yeah, well, you could do it. I mean, nobody cared when stuff could burn down. Yes, I get it.
M80s all the way.
Oh, M80s, big time. And you know what? Without the fireworks guys, we wouldn't get the favorite thing of the year, which is the idiots that blow themselves up. Nothing makes my heart smile than somebody who thinks they're going to hold something in their hand. They wait too long, and then they have no fingers, and they're like, I can't believe that happened. Really? Yeah. You can't believe that happened?
I love the video, and it's a classic video on social media where apparently the family's Ring doorbell camera, it shows there's a gathering in the front yard.
Oh,
the adults have their, they got their beverages, the lawn chairs are out. A couple of kids are lighting something down on the sidewalk, and as they turn away, it falls over in the direction of everybody.
That is spectacular.
As somehow they escaped serious injury, I think.
Well, which is good because they weren't trying to blow them. They weren't idiots. But it is kind of funny. It's like the holiday where it's like, you know what we should do? Everybody should drink heavily throughout the day.
Lots.
With no water, by the way, because it's hot
water.
And it's summertime and we're having fun. Then when all is said and done and the darkness comes and after you've had 12 hot dogs when you'll normally only eat one.
And beers,
that's when we decide, hey, Dad, here. Go light something.
Go blow it up real good.
Yeah, this is going to be fun. So, yeah, I was trying to figure out, where's the big thing?
Where do they do that here, Bell? Is it Bicentennial Park?
No, it's Riverfront.
No, Riverfront. Yeah, that makes sense because, over there by the water. And who's playing it this year? I wonder who's playing it this year.
I don't know.
Keith Urban is usually the guy.
Well, he's next door. We should go ask him.
He does. Well, he always, did New Year's Eve. Let's see. Nashville fireworks.
Because I am curious because the kids are asking me.
Where are we going to go, Daddy?
You know what? I'll be honest.
Here we go.
Who is it?
Nashville's 2025 fireworks event includes the annual Let Freedom Sing Music City July 4th celebration downtown featuring large fireworks display synchronized. Who's singing at it? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, we should have somebody big, right? Isn't that somewhere Jelly Roll would wander over to and sing?
Ooh, that'd be something.
Somebody like that, you would assume we would have that.
Yeah, I mean, they all live here.
So
They're gonna have a big old hot chicken festival.
Oh, I like that.
Here in Nashville. That'd be fun.
That'd be fun. Because
Luke Combs.
Oh, it's Luke Combs. I like that. There we go.
No, wait a minute. That's just his bar.
Oh, you lied.
Oh man.
Oh, man.
What am I doing?
Oh, I don't know.
Somebody's got to
the
know
kids
this.
keep asking me. And the funny thing is, you know what they're asking me a lot more of? And this last month,
Yeah.
there was more search for drone shows than fireworks in 23 states.
Interesting.
Have you seen those drone shows?
Oh, yes.
Oh, they're amazing.
They're incredible.
I mean, you can't blow up, which is all. My son, a few years ago, him and his mom went to the one in San Diego, the fireworks show, where they hit the wrong thing and everything exploded at once. So the show was only like 8 seconds. Get like 1 million people down there. It was 8 seconds. And thank you very much. We thank you all for coming.
Dierks Bentley is going to be the big headline.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's a pretty good one right there.
Going to have performances by Russell Dickerson, Nico Moon, Grace Bowers, Keisha Rainey, and more.
And more. It's a big night. I wonder how many people are down there.
There's usually at least 100,000.
Okay, well, that's a lot.
Yeah, they pack Lower Broad.
All right, well, there you go. See,
So there you go, Brother Chad.
All right, I'm excited. I'm not going to watch it.
When the NFL draft was here, it was over 300,000.
Yeah,
It was 500,000.
That was half
Oh,
a
it
million.
was?
That was a nightmare.
Yeah.
Were you surprised to hear how many people come to Tennessee?
Yeah, I was listening to Brian, and at first I thought he said that was Nashville.
Yeah, I said, well, it's not 147 million people come to
I was
Nashville.
like, wow.
But even to Tennessee, because you think about that, I think it's 17.8 million that came to Nashville.
Yeah.
But then you're thinking there's 130 million almost that go to other parts of the state. Where? You know what?
Gatlinburg.
I wonder how many go see Elvis.
Yeah, baby.
Maybe, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I can't even believe that's going on. Oh.
Have you been to Graceland?
Yeah, when I was younger. I have a
Okay.
cool story about that.
I loved it.
Me too.
It's not
It's
as
been
big as
a
you
long
think.
time. No, it's not.
It's not as big as you think.
I was expecting like a massive mansion, but I mean, for its day, it was a mansion.
Yeah, for its day, it was huge. But
These days, it's just a big house.
yeah, that's all it is.
It's just another house in Rutherford County.
Yeah, but it was. I did when I went there. It was kind of like when you go see the Alamo, which it's not the full Alamo, but it's still way smaller. Or
Yeah.
a couple years ago, if you've ever been to the OK Corral, you go to the OK Corral. It isn't that big. It's about the size of this room. Like those guys, the fact that they missed a vast majority of their shots was hilarious. It's so crazy. And isn't it weird when you go a place and you think it's going to be way bigger than it is? And you get on here, you're like, this isn't very big. Like the OK Corral, I thought, oh, this would be, because I'm a huge Western buff. Ken and I talk about this all the time. We love Westerns.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm really into right now? Death Valley Days.
Death Valley Days, yeah.
425 episodes, and man, they're great. But when you go and see what these people used to live like, and like even like I said, Elvis, it's tiny.
Yeah.
You ever been inside?
Oh, yes.
So I got
Loved it.
to do that with I know about Pigeon Forge. Are we talking about all kinds of stuff?
Pigeon Forge.
But so I got to go with my buddy who is a big time DJ, like old school, like big time
Yeah.
back in the day to Graceland, and we got to like go and do all kinds of stuff that nobody else did because Elvis was his pal, and
Awesome.
the original white couch is actually in his house. Because
cool.
like this is the kind of guy, Mr. Rock and Roll's in it. This is the kind of guy, like I work with these old DJs where when the Beatles came, they stayed at these guys' houses so they could avoid the craziness.
Right.
Because they were as big as the Beatles in their world. And it's so weird when you think that. Because today you would never get any of that stuff. Just nuts. Man, this is going to be cool. I can't wait to blow stuff up, eat stuff.
Gonna blow it up real good.
Yeah, people said wait for the gunshots. You'll hear a lot of gunshots.
Yeah, that and unfortunately, I think a couple of years ago, I think we had a couple of people injured downtown.
Yeah, because people forget that
It comes down.
it comes down.
Yes.
It doesn't disappear. It doesn't fly up and then magically it's gone. So everybody keeps asking me to. I understand there are a lot of other things to do. I didn't think there was 130 million people coming here to do. Did you weren't even surprised by that?
I was.
Yeah, see, so don't even tell me, you guys, no, there's a lot to do, kids. Yes, Times Square is tiny. So
Sometimes it feels like all 137 million people are in front of me at the intersection in Murfreesboro.
that I hear you. I used to feel that way about, everybody used to say, and I get this a lot too, like, you're from California, you're one of those people that moved out here. I said, you know what? For 30 years, of the 30 plus years I lived in California, you know what I didn't say? Oh, you're one. Nobody's from California. Everybody's from somewhere else. And you know what? We never bitched about it, except the traffic was annoying. But that was other people's fault. But still, this is what happens when you're successful. And California is only successful because of their weather. You move that politics anywhere else in the world, not on an ocean, but in the center of the country, they'll lose quick. So
the weather is nice, man.
Yeah. So see, somebody said I was surprised too. Yes, I know. Puff Daddy, P Diddy. I got to be honest, dude. I
think he's going to get off, man.
I do too, right? Like we got to talk about that. Because I kind of weirdly feel that way. And did you see they found out who the name of the guy that shot? What the hell was that, dude?
Yeah.
Set a fire.
Terrible. Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. Set the fire. Called the fire department, and then started mowing them down.
He looks like he's only 20.
Goodness.
What do you think? He's a failed fireman?
Well, see, there are stories out there like that. Where, and like some of the stories that I recall are nothing along these lines, but like it'll be like a volunteer fireman who just wants some action.
Yeah.
And will set a fire. And then call everybody out.
Yeah, because they want to watch it. And they want to be a part of it. Right. They want to feel like they're heroes because they're for whatever reason, they're not firemen. They're never going to be firemen.
Right.
And so they think they're going to save the world. And then people are going to, I don't know, it's bizarre. So much stuff. We're going to get to a lot of stuff. We'll talk a little bit about the big, beautiful bill. There are vote-a-ramas going on. What do they call it? Vote-a-rama? Is that what it is?
It's so ridiculous. Vote-a-rama. I mean, what they've been at this for I think we're going on 2 days now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So they've been at this for 2 days because remember they made him read the bill. 16 hours it took him to get through that. Think about the crap in this thing. Think about the crap. 16 hours. So we'll talk a little bit about that.
How
We're
many
talk
total
about
pages is it now? Do we know?
I think
940.
That was a 940? Okay,
Yeah.
down from 990.
It shrank a little bit.
It did. But they're adding more crap to it. They're just putting more on the paper. So be prepared for that.
Well, we got to go back and read it.
They're using they're printing it in a smaller font.
Smaller font. So that way they keep it under 1,000. See, we kept it under 1,000. Anything 900 plus pages that's a bill, there's so much crap in there. It's a porta potty. So we'll talk a bit about that. We'll talk about Diddy. Will he or won't he? Ken and I have our thought. We'll talk about that as well. If you missed the show, shame on you. Grab the podcast. Happy Monday. It's the Chad Benson Show. Super Talk 99.7. Birch Gold. There's gold, and then there are hills. Will they or won't they? BRICS meeting next month. What's that mean? That's the Brazil, right? Russia, India, Iran, China, a bunch of other countries trying to get together and get themselves off the dollar, yo. So what could happen? Well, you want to protect your savings. You want to protect yourself in a time like this. That's where gold, precious metals comes in. Text the word Benson to 989898 today for my friends over at Birch Gold. They're going to get you out a kit, info kit, arm you with all the stuff you need to make a smart decision about the what-if scenario should they get themselves away from the dollar. 80 years has been the reserve currency for so many people. Would that hurt the dollar? Yeah, I think it would. So what should you do? Text the word now, Benson, to 989898. Get the info kit from my friends at Birch Gold, A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau. They're who I trust when it comes to precious metals. Birch Gold. Text the word Benson now to 989898 today for Birch Gold.
Have you ever heard someone say, I used to be a Christian, but not anymore. After all I've been through, God wasn't there for me. Here's what the Apostle John said in the early church about false teachers in 1 John 2:19, about those who leave the Christian community. They went out from us, but they were not really of us. For if they had been of us, they would have remained with us. But they went out so that it would be shown that they all are not of us. Essentially, the Word of God is teaching what the true spiritual condition really is of those who walk away from their faith, that they never had true faith in the first place. Their true spiritual status is that of a false Christian. And when I say spiritual status, I mean Christ-like status. People who think they are Christians, thinking they are saved, but actually aren't, either believe in a false gospel or were false converts who never intended to follow God's prompting to accept Christ. There's no such thing as a used-to-be Christian.
Weather can change in an instant, and you need to be prepared for any outcome. That's why Generator Supercenter of Nashville will help keep your family safe and connected. We make buying a backup generator simple and easy, with financing options available, free in-home estimate, turnkey installations, no worry warranty, and most importantly, the monitoring and service of your fully installed generator. Come see us at our location in Nashville or visit us online. Generator Supercenter of Nashville. We serve all Middle Tennessee.
Idaho firefighter ambush suspect ID'd. This story and more coming up at 12:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
This morning, final instructions and deliberations for the jury deciding whether Sean Combs, while making hip-hop mainstream, led a criminal conspiracy that trafficked women and transported prostitutes. 8 men and 4 women, ages 30 to 74, all with a college or advanced degree, heard more than 6 weeks of graphic, harrowing testimony about physical violence, degrading sex, and psychological trauma. Combs did not testify.
Duh. Nobody's going to let you testify. It's a smart thing to do. I think, man, I think you're kind of right, man. I feel that way today. I was talking about, I think it could go either way, and they dropped those big charges on him. And the way that they're going to play this out, and I think they've done a smart job, is, hey, you regret this now, but you didn't then. And you can't come back and charge somebody with regret later on of an action that you participated in. You guys weren't being handcuffed, held hostage, beaten. You partied. You had sex. He's not a good guy. He could be violent. He's a bad dude in that sense. That being said, this is not racketeering.
Well, yeah, I mean, you start getting into the technicalities, just the little details that are a big thing when it comes to the law.
Yeah, because you're looking at them and saying, who did he conspire with? There's still none of that, right? Like, there's none of the, I just don't think they did a great job. I don't think there was enough people called. And looking at those videos, as horrible and as maybe they were, I think the prosecutor said, well, these people wouldn't have done this without it. I'm like, really? Have you never seen online stuff? People do wacky, crazy, horrible things all the time that you think are horrible. It's just a lifestyle, and that's kind of the way they pitched it.
Yeah. I don't know. This trial, it did not play out like I thought it was going to.
No, it didn't.
I thought for sure that there were going to be some A-list celebs subpoenaed and that sort of thing, and
no,
it just hasn't happened.
It didn't.
I mean, in that community is still just radio silence.
Oh, they've been so silent. But here's my thing. Let's just say they find him not guilty because they've dropped the biggest charges. They still faces forever in jail if he was found guilty. But he drops these. What life do you have now?
That's an interesting question.
I mean, who's going to ever trust you, get around you? You're never going to be the hit maker again, right? I mean, there are people out there that would rather be Diddy. I mean, they'd rather be Kanye than you.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's going to give you the widest berth in the world. So you're just going to, you know what you're going to be? You're going to be the new OJ.
Basically, his entire industry support mechanism has fled.
Yeah.
and he is an island unto himself now.
Except for Kanye.
Except for Kanye. Kanye went there, right? But then Kanye went there because he has a T-shirt to sell, or he wanted to show his wife's boobs off.
Yeah, they didn't
Or
let
he got
him
a new
in.
swastika tattoo
He's
or
got a
something.
new swastika tattoo.
Yeah, he went there. They didn't let him in, but he knew that would he
make
would
noise.
get some exposure.
You know, Kanye, but I sat there and I was thinking to myself, he's going to be the new OJ. That's what he's going to end up being. He's going to be the new OJ, where
Wouldn't that be something?
He's just hanging out in weird places and, living in
He's
his
going to
mansions.
spend the rest of his life looking for the real rapist.
Look for on the golf courses. That's because that's where apparently a lot of them are.
Hiding off in the rough.
That's right. Looking for, was it Karen Reed's, the killer of the O'Keefe guy?
Yeah.
It's just, I listen to a lot of this stuff, and being a freak and menage a trois and having crazy, wild, wacky sex and all that stuff.
It happens.
It happens, and what are you going to say? You're going to say that this is the way they pitched it. I think his issue isn't going to come from that. It's going to come, and it's going to come from, did he bring people over the line as far as state lines? Did he do certain things like that is where it's going to come. But one thing I didn't hear the people that would have been charged with a lot of stuff show up and testify against him and give state's evidence.
Right.
It was just people that were in the freak-offs.
Right. And then some rappers who were pissed off at him.
Yeah. Well, I have the same problem. Rappers are always pissed off at me. I'm like, I can't stop it. I'm like, I'm sorry. They all got beef with me. I'm like, guys, why you got beef with me? What do you think I am, Warren Beatty? I feel like Warren Beatty should have beef with people.
What was it? Was it Bulwark? Bulwark?
Bulwark, yeah. The
That
movie.
is the movie he was in.
Yeah. Where he just like totally wigged out, just started just hanging out with rappers. Oh, God. So, but if he gets off, this is what this really shows you is green. You got enough green, because I guarantee you, if you had the state attorney, the guy's like, you should plead guilty. Super guilty.
Yeah.
Oh, my Lord.
But he's got money.
His money.
And I mean an endless.
And yeah, still has an endless supply. They didn't take his money because the criminal activities that he was accused of, those weren't the kind of things where you're going to come in and take $1 billion of his dollars, because we know that he actually made money doing other stuff. And still no word on like the whole thing with Puff, like Puff Daddy and Biggie and all that stuff. I thought there was going to be all kinds of stuff dropped that was going to be wacky.
I think all those A-list celebs thought so too.
Yeah, they were waiting to be dragged into this. I'm looking at you, Ashton Kutcher. All right, coming up, we could talk about real stuff, or we could find out what's cool, because they've done a study to find out what's cool. It's 6 things that make you cool. Are you some of these things?
All right.
We'll discuss that, among other things. If you're missing the show, shame on you. Grab the podcast. It's Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7.
.30 on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. We've got the full forecast coming up in 5 minutes. The body of a man found in an Idaho mountainside where a brush fire was started is believed to be the suspected gunman in yesterday's fatal ambush of firefighters responding to that blaze. Wes Rowley found dead in the woods there. And a federal task force has found Harvard University failed to protect Jewish students from harassment during those on-campus protests over the war in Gaza. Trump administration says the university violated civil rights laws and was, quote, a willful participant in anti-Semitic harassment of Jewish students, faculty, and staff. ABC's Karen Travers has details.
The Trump administration says its investigation into Harvard found the university is in violent violation of federal civil rights law. The administration sent a letter viewed by ABC News to the president of Harvard on Monday, detailing the findings of an investigation into anti-Semitism on Harvard's campus. The administration's investigation concluded the majority of Jewish students reported experiencing negative bias or discrimination on campus, found evidence that Jewish and Israeli students were assaulted and spit on, and that participants in campus demonstrations were not properly severely punished. Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
Elsewhere in our nation's capital.
It's a piece of legislation that Tillis can't sell back home, and you won't be able to either, my Republican colleagues.
That is Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer ahead of the vote-a-rama this morning on the proposed amendments to that One Big Beautiful Bill Act. And as millions of travelers make their way to their July 4th destinations, some faced hazardous weather conditions over the weekend, as we hear from Gio Benitez.
The FAA expects this to be the busiest week for air travelers in 15 years, with over 300,000 flights scheduled. But many of those making an early start, ending with a travel headache. The rough weather forcing Delta to experience widespread disruptions this weekend, the airline canceling hundreds of flights at its largest hub, Atlanta, because of those strong winds and hail.
That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
USS United Structural Systems. I want you to give them a call if you have any issues whatsoever. You're worried about something. 615-488-7855. Let me tell you something about USS, okay? Foundation repair, crawl space repair, sinkhole, concrete lifting, basement waterproofing, mold repair, structural repair, brick and lintel repair. They do it all. But one of the things they do first and foremost is come give you an inspection. We had a crazy winter. And did something start to leak? Some of those cracks, water through all the stuff, get into certain areas where you got mold, wood rot, all that stuff. You don't want that. And as the humidity comes, it starts to get gross and gross. So next thing you know, you don't pay attention the way you should, and something goes from something small that can be done to something much larger. USS is there. They're going to come out and give you a free inspection. Not going to cost you anything, and they're not going to sell you anything you don't need. They are there to help. They guarantee their absolute best. 30 years in business, so many happy customers. Call them today if you have any needs whatsoever. 615-488-7855, 615-488-7855, or check out everything they do online at USSTN.com. there they are trying to figure out if they can pass the big, beautiful bill.
We skipped a page. Let's go back and start reading it all over.
All over again.
They're going to pass this thing like a kidney stone.
It is. It's huge. It's ugly. And I know everybody's like, it's got so many great bills. We need it. We need it, Chad. You don't even understand. We don't need this much debt. I don't know who thinks that this is a solid idea. And by the way, when they talk about 10 years, take the 10 years off, okay? The next 3 years are all that matters because things will change. Even if let's say Trump steps away, which he obviously has to, even though he says, well, maybe I don't. But let's say he does, because he's going to. And then Marco comes in or J.D. Vance comes in. This may not be what they're looking at for some of this stuff.
Or if a Democrat wins, they can completely upturn it.
Undo the whole thing. But the next 2 or 3 years, which is what is going to matter, because you don't get a redo. So if you add $2-3 trillion of debt to what we already have, there isn't going back and redoing that. Oh, sorry, we're going to take that away. It doesn't work that way. So I think they missed. I think Trump in this, and when you hear him say 68% tax hike, it's the largest in history. That's a lie. It's not the 68%. Nobody's getting a 68% tax hike. No, 68% of people may see taxes go up. All that they should care about is the middle class, the people that need a break. Let the rich don't need any more help. They're doing okay. I think most of you agree. It's like, yeah, I don't really care if I would rather see that money go to the middle class than the well-to-do who already know what exactly they're supposed to do when it comes to this stuff. Because they've got full-time people working on it. That's the way this works. They don't get a paycheck like you and I. So it's going to be interesting to see because as I said earlier, the way this works is this will go from here back down to the House, if indeed it passes, goes back down there. Then the House will get it, and then God only knows what they're going to do with it. Then it'll pass. And he has this want to do it on, I think he wants to do it on 4th of July, right? Am I right? Like he wants to do it like
that's the deadline he imposed.
Yeah,
Friday.
Yeah, and he wants to know
when he wants to sign it.
Yeah, he wants to sign it probably with fireworks in the background that spell out T.
But you know that's a federal holiday.
So it doesn't matter though, because these guys he can hold back. So who am I to tell the rich what they need? Trust me, I'm okay. I do okay with my life. That's who I am. Okay? So I've talked to several very wealthy people, and they said they don't need to give. They could tax me 100%. It wouldn't matter. I know exactly what I'm doing. I know where I keep my money. I know the way that.
Well, and Trump has said so himself.
Exactly. And he, one of the reasons that Mondani guy was so popular in the way that he spoke from his lunacy and he's a communist. He tries to pretend he's like Bernie Sanders, where he wants to be this social democrat like they have in Sweden and Scandinavia, where it's like they tax the rich and everybody. He's not. He's far more radical than that. But one of the reasons he was very popular and made a lot of noise is because he went after this, hey, you know what? The middle class is getting squeezed. Everybody's broke AF. Nobody can afford a house. Groceries are too damn expensive. That other guy was right. Rent is too damn high. That's why he was popular. And Trump was popular with that. And he's even told you, I can do all these things because, remember when the debate with Hillary? Because all of your friends passed these tax laws, and I just take advantage of them. They're not loopholes. They're laws you put in place that I get to take advantage of. I remember my buddy had a Range Rover, and he wrote it off as a farm vehicle because it was over like 10,000 pounds or something. So we got to write the whole thing off. It was just it depreciated, right? It's just that's the thing that you do when you have a ton of money. They set up, 5 LLCs, and they loan themselves X amount of dollars a year where they don't have to pay it back in interest. And it's just all of these little loopholes that are out there and available. They're not hurting. The middle class? Yeah. Small business? Absolutely. That's where I would have focused. He didn't want to, and that's it. That's the way it is. We'll see. Again, we'll see what it looks like when it gets passed, too, because we don't even know what it looks like in the final, because it's 940 pages, is that what you said?
Yep, 940.
Yeah. He knows they'll get it done because they want to go on vacation. Oh, absolutely they do.
Well, they got to get back to their districts and, visit with the people.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Get their hands dirty.
That's super important to them. There's such a lie. And it's self-imposed. It's self-imposed. It's this because he's pushing them. And they'll get it done, but what does it look like at the end? Because there's limits, by the way, when it comes to tax on tips. There's limits for the overtime, and there is no Social Security in this bill because that has to be a separate bill on its own. So, but as far as, and the other thing with that is they're all starting to realize if we gave no taxes on Social Security and we didn't do any of that stuff, then we're going to be upside down next $1.5 trillion, which is big. So we'll see. It is, the things, I was telling you, Ken, you and I talk about this all the time. All that really matters is your day-to-day life.
It's the economy.
It's the economy. Because if your economy's good and you got some money in your pocket, you can pay for a little bit of life and you're not having to worry and stress all the time, that is a good situation to be in. If you got a lot of money in your pocket, that's even better. But it's the economy. And it's the thing that matters. What on the kitchen table side of life, and you're sitting there and you're talking with your wife, you're talking with your husband, talking with your family, your friends, whatever it is, about affording life, those things matter. That's the thing. Because everything else, even with stress of getting the kids here or doing this, you're fine with that. And it's stressful at times, and it can be annoying. But it's triply annoying when you're broke AF. So that's the thing that should matter. How does this affect the average person? What does this do for the average person? And they're going to, luckily, you're up against the Democrats. So even if it's not a great bill, they're going to screw it up anyway, so you don't have to worry about that. But that's the thing that matters. The average person, you and I and everybody paying our bills, making sure that we've got enough to support our life and our kids, et cetera, those things matter. Speaking of mattering, how much will it cost this year for snacks at 4th of July?
So Wells Fargo does this analysis every year, Craig, through their Agri-Food Institute. They say this year for a 4th of July party for 10 people, expect to spend an average of $130. That's $13 a person. That is actually up 2.2% from last year. And the part that's taking the biggest bite out of your budget is the burgers. Meat prices up 7.4%. And that is in part because we have the lowest cattle herd levels that we've had since the 1950s. You see their barbecue sauce up about 2%. Chicken breast, not too bad, 1%. Hot dogs, 0.5%. Good news, buns are down 1.5%. So it's holding steady, but the burgers will cost you more.
Buns are down, and we've got a beef shortage. So we got a big beef shortage, and so
Look at it this way. It'll be, just put some cheese in between the buns.
There you go. Put some cheese. It's going to be good. It's going to be good, though. It's up a little bit. And get real hot. Get beef hot dogs. Right, get beef hot dogs.
No way, dude. I'm getting the $1 a package.
Bar S?
Yeah, bar. They're $1 a package, man. The bar S wieners.
It's the kind of thing you throw into your dog and nope. It's a hard no. Bar S, I'm kidding, of course. What's your go-to side on the holiday?
I make Southern barbecue baked beans.
Oh, my God. Yes,
awesome.
Please.
I put in a whole bunch of, I put ingredients in the baked beans that's already in the baked beans.
So you just really accentuate.
So
it.
you're pumping up the punch.
Yeah, and then I put big old thick slices of bacon on top of it.
Yeah.
Slap it in the oven for about 35, 45
So
minutes.
basically what you're saying is you've created a bacon delivery mechanism.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
But it's awesome with the barbecue. There is nothing better. Barbecued baked beans with bacon. Oh, God, that is so American right there.
It's America.
Man, that's a toilet ruler right there. Out of my way. I've had 64 beers. It's 128 degrees outside. I've had 2 pounds of baked beans and 12 hot dogs. I'm about ready to... Hebrew National are the way to go. That's right.
Oh, those are good.
Yeah. All you
But,
people out there that anti-Semites, huh? Huh? Till it comes to hot dogs.
I don't even know, dude. I don't even know if those dollar package wieners are even any way. It may just be tofu.
Hey,
Who knows?
Our producer in training, Sam over here, said you guys are completely forgetting brats.
No, brats are good.
Brats are good.
Brats
yeah.
are good.
Just didn't bring them up. That's
Oh,
almost
yeah.
almost a staple for 4th of July.
Where's he from? Wisconsin?
I don't know.
So, but brats are good. Burgers, dogs, brats. I mean, this is what it's chicken. Chicken's hard to barbecue. You got to be careful with chicken.
Yeah, well, yeah, because you can dry it out.
Yeah, you could dry it out.
I don't like dried chicken.
Oh, no.
I
no.
will barbecue you some chicken, and it will be perfect.
Now, settle down there.
Yes, sir.
Settle down. I like...
Bring some in tomorrow, brother.
Yeah, bring some in tomorrow. We should do a barbecue here Wednesday. Barbecuing indoors should be fine. Nobody's going to be here.
Nobody
We
will
just
care.
go up on the roof.
That's true. We could totally do that. What's the weather
We'll
like
just do
this?
it in the hallway.
Do it in the hallway. Oh, this will be good. Fireworks, too. We're having it all. Spicy Italian sausage.
Yes.
Bar S are pig lips. They are some of those things.
Pig lips and other things.
Yeah, cheap hot dogs are so much better than beef. No way. Nathan's hot dogs are awesome. So are and by the way, do you watch the
hot dog eating
Yeah.
contest? If I catch it, yeah.
it is God, it's so funny. Oh, the guy that the announcer. He's the greatest of all kind, a man who lives for America. You know, he goes off on that tangent. This is why I love America, because on the day that we kicked ass over the British and we said, all right, we won, you guys quit. Good. We're going to celebrate this day in 275 years, and then 300 years, and then 500 years by stuffing meat in our mouth at a rate that you could not believe. So take that.
Some of us even dunk our hot dogs in water.
Which is weird. Chestnut's going to be there this year.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, Chestnut's
I thought
coming
he'd
back.
give it up.
He said he's coming back.
Well, I'll be.
Yeah, tater salad.
Oh, tater salad. Yeah, but see, I like the white tater salad.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh, look at you.
Ooh, that's good stuff.
Tater salad. So much fun. See, kids, we talk about stuff that matters in life, stuff that you guys are going to be doing. You're not going to be voting on the big, beautiful bill. You are going to be eating some big, beautiful dogs. I'll tell you that right now. I'm blowing stuff up. Coming up, a lot of stuff. Summerween is here. Wait till you hear what this is.
All right.
It is here now because you can't not. Summerween. It's the new thing. Plus, maybe we'll talk about the little girl that fell off the Disney cruise, which I still find fascinating, and Pops jumped in and saved her. It is the Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7. Percal bed sheets from our friends over at My Pillow. These things are awesome. Percal, long staple cotton, incredible, fit, perfect. Even when you wash these things, they don't shrink up and they don't bind and they don't, like when you sleep and you roll over, they don't flop off and hit you in the head and wake you up. That stuff doesn't have perfect deep pockets for any kind of time of the year, whether it's hot or it's cold. But these things are great for when it is hot, breathable, crisp. You're going to sleep like a baby. I love these things. The Percal bed sheets, 11 different colors to choose from, and it's $24.98 any size. So small, medium, large, king, queen, super king, cow king, king, whatever it is. There's so many of these things. It's just $24.98, period. That's why you're going to love these things. Washable, right, and dryable, so you don't have to worry about them shredding and falling apart. These are amazing. Get your MyPillow Percal bed sheets right now, just $24.98. Go to mypillow.com/Benson and grab these amazing deals. 11 different colors to choose from. Get yours now. mypillow.com/Benson. mypillow.com/Benson. All right, guys, contours. You know, you're going to be eating a little bit of food this weekend, but, you know, you're trying to lose that weight, trying to lose those inches. Contours is going to help you lose those inches the right way by not having to do crunches. Guys, gals, you've been out there, you've tried it. You want to look great in your suit. You want to look better and feel better in your clothes. Contours gets it done. It is amazing. So Dan and I both go there, and my wife goes there, and you're going to guarantee to lose 2 inches in your first time you're there, which is awesome. So if you're frustrated with all of the stuff, like I've tried everything, I just can't get rid of these last few inches, or you've lost a ton of weight, maybe took the weight loss drug and everything, and you just feel like you're still flabby, this helps you. Simple, easy, relaxing. It's non-invasive. You just sit back, relax, and it melts away. Go there now. $99, guaranteed to lose 2 inches on your first time you're there. So the first treatment, you're going to lose 2 inches guaranteed. And your first treatment's just $99. They've got great things, ladies. They got facials and all stuff like this. But guys and gals, this is for you. Contours is amazing. Call 615-236-9960 today to schedule your first appointment. That is 615-236-9960, or check them out online at contoursllc.com.
All right, drivers, we've got a 44-minute delay in Robertson County. It's a crash in the median. It's impacting both north and southbound 65 between Springfield, White House Highway 76, exit 108, and Gallatin Cross Plains Highway 25, exit 112. Also a crash, right exit lane block 65 southbound before Trinity Lane. And President Trump is going to Alligator Alcatraz. That's coming up at 1 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
So you go on vacation, and your kid on the Disney cruise, decides to jump? What?
The passengers I spoke to described that father treading the ocean water for upwards of 10 minutes. Imagine treading water for over 10 minutes in a calm swimming pool. That's hard enough. Now, in the ocean with massive waves and the unknown of what's below you, the passengers were just in awe that the father jumped overboard after that little girl, but said he had no choice. They would have done the same exact.
Wait, what? You would have done the same? Who doesn't do that? My kid jumped. Well, that sucks for her. That's a dumb thing. Oh, boy. I'm still curious as to how the little girl got, I don't know how little she is, but it's plexiglass all the way around. It's like a hockey arena.
From what I understand, Daddy put her up on the railing.
Dad. Oh, Mr. Toodles.
So Daddy has butterfingers.
Daddy's got butterfingers. No lawsuit. Wiping my hands free. Oh, thanks, Mick.
Daddy didn't make a very good decision.
No, and Daddy went in after like Daddy should have. Anybody would have done. Yes. The fact that more people didn't jump in was ridiculous. First of all, just to say you did, right?
Yeah.
Like if I'm sitting there, I'm like, I'm going. Why not? I'm a good swimmer. I was a lifeguard, despite my looks.
There you go.
I don't want to lose the tax deduction.
No, but I jump in there. I look great. Like people are like, man, what'd you do? Well, you know what? I saw a little girl go in, and I didn't. You know what? I wanted to do everything I could to check out. By the way, follow me at Chad Benson Show. Woo! You know,
you film it all the way to the water
all the way. What's
in your
up?
water-resistant phone.
Oh, this is gonna be great for the gram, kids. Smile. So, so Dad put her up there.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's what Brian was reporting, and she went over, and I mean he didn't hesitate. He went in. I mean, what I'm surprised about is, I thought that if you fall off a boat like that, aren't you sucked in by the engines?
If you fall in the back. I mean, she fell, obviously not the back. They were on the side of the boat, from what I understand.
I thought it still gets you.
So, no, that's no, she's gonna be fine.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
And they were out there as a ways, and I was waiting for the sharks because everybody was filming. Like if there was a time that something could have happened.
Oh boy!
Because you got those white tip oceanic sharks that are out there in places like that where they don't see a lot of food. They attack anything.
They're hungry.
Oh boy!
Looky there.
So, because the first thing I thought of is, man, this is gonna be a lawsuit. I'm like, how did she? I realized that like you could have helped your kid up there, but my God, what were you thinking? Goodness me. And I love, he had no choice but to go in. Yeah, even if she would have jumped on her own, you have no choice. That's your kid, you dumbass. Man, my family went on a cruise. They went on the Disney cruise. I wonder if this is the same ship that old Dan was on. Dan, at any given time, did you feel the need to jump off the boat to save anybody? Would you, Dan, have jumped off the boat to save anybody? Are you a strong swimmer, Dan?
I'm not a strong swimmer.
Oh, my God, I
he's-
love that.
He's got a pool at home, so he's got to be at least decent.
He can swim in that pool.
Probably. You know what? He is probably got gills. We don't even know it. And remember, guys, when you see Dan out in public, give him a hug. He'd do that for you. Coming up, hour number 2 of the program, talk a little immigration maybe, talk a little SCOTUS. We're going to find out what makes you cool. That's got to be number 1. What makes you cool? They've got a new study out, and it's from all over the globe, not just in one area where Fonzie was at. We'll do that, among other things. Hour number 2 of the Chad Benson Show coming up straight ahead. Super Talk 99.7.
One o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories and drivers again. We've got a major delay right now in Robertson County. It's almost an hour and a half delay. It's because of a crash in the median, and it's impacting both southbound and northbound 65 between Springfield, White House Highway 76, exit 108, and Gallatin Cross Plains Highway 25, exit 112. We've got the full forecast coming up in 5 minutes. Here in Nashville, police are investigating and confirm, according to Channel 4, that a child has been shot in the Nations, taken to a local hospital for treatment. No information regarding the victim's injuries have been released at this time. Channel 4 says the 911 call was made sometime after noon today. This is over in the 3400 block of Elizabeth Jordan Street in the Nations. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt opening today's press briefing with details about the Trump administration's latest deportation detention center. This one is in the Florida Everglades, and President Trump is going to check it out personally tomorrow.
The facility is in the heart of the Everglades and will be informally known as Alligator Alcatraz. There is only one road leading in, and the only way out is a one-way flight. It is isolated and surrounded by dangerous wildlife and unforgiving terrain.
Plans include a 5,000-bed setup to house and process the deportations. Caroline Leavitt calling it efficient and low cost. Final instructions given to the jurors in the Sean Diddy Combs trial today. Chief Investigative Correspondent Darren Katursky outside the courthouse with more.
The judge did tell the jury he's innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. He's walking the jury through what reasonable doubt means. It's not doubt, no doubt at all, but what is reasonable to believe if you're to acquit Sean Combs of these crimes.
Combs could be found guilty of racketeering, conspiracy, sex trafficking, and transportation to engage in prostitution. A federal task force has found that Harvard University failed to protect Jewish students from harassment during those on-campus protests over the war in Gaza. The Trump administration says the university violated civil rights laws and was, quote, a willful participant in anti-Semitic harassment of Jewish students, faculty, and staff. ABC's Perry Russum with details, as well as Harvard's response.
They say failure to institute adequate changes immediately will result in the loss of all federal financial resources. The Trump administration has been freezing about $2 billion in grant money to going after Harvard's tax exemption status and even their ability to have international students on campus. And we did have a chance to get a comment from Harvard, where a spokesperson for the university says that they strongly disagree with the government's findings. And we do know that Harvard's president in the past has said that they are working to end prejudice on campus.
That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
it's a big, beautiful bill. It's a marathon, you see. They're underway. It's a mega bill. It's a lot. I don't, because you don't know what it looks like at the end. We don't know what it looks like once it goes from here to the end of the house. Who's adding what's staying in there. He can only lose one. And what if you lose this? And Caroline Levitt just said earlier, you guys need to hang tough. Hang in tough. Hang in tough. That's what she needs to tell him. Guys, stay tough. Come on, you could do it. Can you? Can you really do it? I don't know. Because you're going to hear from people back at home who are worried about unintended consequences. Where you say we're not cutting anything off Medicaid. Where you say you're not cutting anything here. You say you're not cutting anything there. And then through unintended consequences, it lands and you find out that, people do lose their coverage, or they do lose some of their coverage, or it does cost them more, any of those things. Then the next thing you know, who's that come back? It comes back and bites you in the butt. And I know Senator Tillis over the weekend, Trump was stoked that he says, I'm done. Because Trump's like, I'm coming after you. He's going after Massey and everybody, that's not a good way to do things. It's odd because Rand Paul has said a couple things and Trump says stuff, but he doesn't go after him the way that he's gone after the other guys. And I think they're, I don't know what it looks like when all is said and done. It could be the greatest thing ever. It could be a nightmare. And here's the thing. One thing that Rand Paul said, and a couple others have said, is if you add a ton of money to the debt and you do this and it passes and all of a sudden the debt blows up in a serious way because all of the things that you've predicted don't go the way that you think, then you own this. And I don't know if they're willing to. And remember, you only have to, for Trump, he's fine. He only has to own it for a little while because then he's done. But the others, they may have to own it for a little bit longer than that. Now, it could be awesome. Could be the greatest thing ever. It's always a possibility. But it's got to play itself out. What do I think? I think it's going to be somewhere in between. I think it's going to be frustrating. I think some people are going to lose some coverage in certain areas. I think I'm not bothered by the work requirement. I see people freak out. The work requirement's 20 hours a week. Oh, for God's sakes. Get a freaking job.
Some of them can definitely work.
Oh, absolutely. But some people, I think, are going to get caught up in it because that's the way that things are. And then you'll hear stories about it. But the debt, that's the big question for me. The debt. How big is this debt going to be? Because you're expanding the debt ceiling. That you're when you describe everything, it's like one of those things where if everything goes perfect, and I mean everything goes perfect, this is going to work out gangbusters for all of us. And we know that that doesn't happen. And on the other side, the left makes you think that everything's going to go to hell. You know where it's going to go? Right in the middle. A little bit of mush here, a little bit of good there. It's going to be, but I still look at the debt. And they like to spend. They love to spend. Ugh. So you can't tell me, hey, Republicans, stop telling me you're fiscally responsible, because you're not. You're not paying for everything the way you think you are, and you're not. Everybody loves to spend, and they love cuts. They love cuts to other programs. They love spending on theirs. So, and this is as much about, Trump's going to get this done. It's going to get through. I have no doubt about that. What does it look like, though, when everything's said and done? And if it does end up costing us a lot more, and it does end up pushing up the debt, how do they spin that? Because they're going to try to blame it on something and somebody somewhere, and it was Jerome Powell's fault. It was his fault. No, you own this if it gets through the way that you want it to get through. I still don't know why you just didn't give more tax cuts to the middle class. That would have been easier.
I'll take them.
Hell yeah. Who's not going to take them?
I'll take it.
I mean, it would have been a win. And who's pushed that for a long time? Steve Bannon. He pushed that the first time. In the first administration, give the tax cuts to the middle class. There's more of them. They're going to get behind you. The rich, you're rich. You understand that. You understand if they would have taxed you 100%, you'd have figured out a way around it. And that's the populism, I thought, But when you go and look at the numbers, people, and I give you guys the straight facts, when you go and look at the numbers, who does this benefit the absolute most? The wealthy and corporations. And you should care about what are you getting out of this? You were promised these things. The wealthy and corporations. I don't care they make a ton of money. I don't care what you tax them. If your goal is just to, just not have any taxes whatsoever, whatever you want to do. But just know when they tell you, oh, it's this, this, and this, no, they're going to benefit the absolute most out of this bill. And that's something we should all care about. By the way, if you guys want to learn how to be cool, that's coming up in a little bit.
So they've done some studies.
Yes.
And now we know.
Now we absolutely know.
What's cool.
So somebody says I sounds like I've got reverb. Did you put reverb on me? Bell? Bell's paying no attention to me. We got a new guy in there. He's paying no attention. Bell!
Hey, Bell.
Do we got reverb on? People saying I have reverb on. Did you do something?
No.
Do I sound awesome?
You sound awesome to me.
Maybe that dude just ate some mushrooms.
Don't do that. But speaking of mushrooms, you want to hear this? Guess who Fox had on this morning? Mike Tyson to talk about weed. You guys ready for this? This is everything you dream it to be.
Well, this is what we do. This is the first problem that they have, because we always saying it's a drug. The word drug is negative when it comes to Americans and all that stuff, because we think about cocaine, cannabis, cocaine, heroin, liquor, and all that stuff. But that's not true. Cannabis is not a drug. No one's never died from. No one's never OD'd over it. And for anyone to think that it's anything more than a drug, it's just, you can't believe it. Look, people drink. How many people die drinking? You put a bunch of people that don't like each other in a room and give them alcohol. They kill each other. You give them some cannabis, they start taking selfies with one another. And they hate each other. It's just a whole different thing.
Now, this is where he has this is where it's great. So he's on with Fox and Friends this morning. And he's right. I was saying today on my national show, first time I ever heard something like that. Back in the 80s, I can hear you, Bell. Back in the 80s.
Sorry.
That's okay. Man, Bell's having a tough day today. That's okay.
He's teaching.
He is. He's doing a damn good job, too. He looks like he's doing it. The first time I heard this, though, is when back in the 80s, England had a very bad reputation soccer-wise. There was several riots and deaths on the European soccer games, and so the English teams weren't allowed to play in championships anymore, European championships. And my buddy who ended up representing me, he used to be a police officer, said, I'd rather have a stadium full of people who are high than people who are drunk. And I thought, that was like 1988. So now here's where he gets very, well, he does a full mic.
Well, that's an interesting case study, certainly. But I mean, there is an addictive part of marijuana, like anything else.
Smoke it. You could do gummies. You don't have to necessarily smoke it. You can do it all. It's in everything.
But Mike, do you believe there should be an age, just like liquor, where you can't drink when you're too young?
Absolutely, 100%. 100%.
What should the age be?
But listen, 21, of course.
Okay.
I'm going to use one of these analogies again.
Oh, here it comes.
Who would you rather have sitting on that couch with you? A cannabis user or a crack user?
Is the crack user paying for lunch?
Yeah. No, he wanted to know if you're sitting there, right? So it's Fox and Friends in the morning. You got Kilmeade and you got everybody sitting there. Would you rather have Cracky McCrackerson or somebody smoking a little weed?
Oh.
And they were looking at it because they don't know what to say to Mike, right? Like, you just don't even say to him. He's like, listen, Linda. Listen, Linda. Who would you rather have on there? Cracky head? Well, first of all, if you've ever entered a crackhead, the interview is rather interesting. Not going to lie to you there. But they're trying to, he's just so Mike Tyson. He's like, you could just eat these things. You don't have to smoke it all. Because that's where they go on, it's like,
oh my gosh.
These guys are going to smoke it. He's like, you don't have to smoke it. Just you don't have to.
Just eat it.
There you go.
Make it in brownies.
It's called an edible.
An edible. That's what he said, right? And we've talked about it.
Mike Tyson.
For sleep, for all of these things, the elderly people. And by the way, cancer patients and AIDS patients back in the day, now that, now it's like one pill and you're done kind of thing comparatively to what it used to be. But they'll tell you the benefit of having cannabis so they can, not only keep food down, but also put weight on and keep it on.
Yeah.
Which is vitally important. And Mike will tell you that right there. If you're doing crack and you got cancer, it's not a win. And they're not going to interview you. It's just so Mike Tyson.
Yeah, man. I mean, the two horrifying times in my life that, I've had loved ones pass from cancer, they get to that point where they're just not hungry.
No.
And they will not eat.
And it's like, and that's when it's like animals, right? Your dog is on borrowed time when they stop eating, when they say, I don't want anything. It's the same thing with human beings. And even if you have a chance to beat it, you get to that point where you don't care anymore. And this allows you to have some hunger as well as fight the pain.
Yep.
And this fight always over, oh, God. Oh, you're going to just, they make it seem like if there's an edible down the street that kids are just riding their bikes around just trying to figure out how to get the Flintstone edibles.
And then they're going to climb on top of a building and jump off.
Yeah, because that's what they do.
Because it makes you want to fly.
I love Mike's like, nobody's ever overdosed from weed. Nobody's ever done that. Don't make me come over there and punch you in the stomach. I will kill you all.
Punch you in the face.
You know why I don't want to kill you? Because I take weed. If I was drunk right now, I'd come over there right to New York and I'd beat you to death.
It's a good thing I'm not drinking.
We should do a show where Ken and I bring in some cannabis seltzers and see who can drink the most and last the longest before they're unable to do their job.
That'd be good. I would totally do that. I think that, first of all, that's science, kids. That is science.
Brother Bilal.
Yeah.
You guys are going to have to put me up in a hotel room.
That's fine. We'll do that. All for the name of science.
No. We'll just stuff him under his desk and make sure he's got a pillow or something.
Dude, I'll just do news for like 24 hours. I'll just keep going.
Slow news?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Check it out.
Here's a new way to make peanut butter.
That'd be awesome. Here's a new way to do this. You guys like peanut butter? Tastes nice. George Carver's the peanut butter guy. That's him. He came up with it. He's like, peanut butter. Yeah. Woo. Did you see that zebra that escaped a few months ago? I bet that was cool.
That was cool, man.
WTN. What? Coming up, we're going to talk about cool. See, Fonzie, when I was a kid growing up, Fonzie was, I guess, the epitome somewhat of cool.
Yeah, I mean, I thought he was tough.
Yeah, he was tough and cool because that's apparently what tough and cool was like in the 50s in Milwaukee.
Yeah, nobody would even fight him.
Even in the very, very beginning of the show, he was kind of portrayed more as a hoodlum than he was.
Yeah, originally.
Yeah, and then he sort of, as he got popular, they wanted him to kind of hit more of the role model kind of vibe.
Yeah, because he fell in love with the Cunningham. So we're going to talk about what makes you cool because there's a new study out, and this is a big study.
All right.
And it is a global study. And there are 6 things that make you cool. You got to have these things. That's what makes you cool. We'll talk about that straight ahead. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7. Bulwark Capital. Let me tell you something about Bulwark. Awesome. Right now, they want to talk to you. Get your second opinion with my friends over at Bulwark. But not only that, coming up 24th of July, so less than a month from now, they're doing what they call the halftime webinar. My buddy Zach Abraham, Chief Investment Officer, is going to walk you through what took place in the first half, right? And a real look at the second half. They're going to talk about unrest, what's going on in the marketplace, where they think earnings and things like that are going to go, and what they're all about, which is lower risk, lower cost, lower volatility. That's what makes Bulwark amazing. This is what I want you to do. Go sign up for it. It's a free webinar. It's Thursday, 24th at 5:30 our time, 3:30 Pacific. So it's Thursday the 24th, 5:30 our time. Doesn't cost you anything. It's Bulwark's halftime look into what is going to happen in the market they think next year. I mean, the next part of this year, which is awesome. And you can still get a second opinion with them, which is they'll go through your entire portfolio, show what's working, what's not working, and what they can do for you. Go right now. Check it out. Simple and easy. Absolutely free. Go to knowyourriskpodcast.com to sign up. Know Your Risk Podcast for my friends over at Bulwark. Investment advisory service offered through Trek Financial LLC and SEC registered investment advisor. Investment fall risk not a guarantee. Past performance not guarantee future results. Trek 25252.
Jesus came to earth the first time to save the world. The next time he comes will be to condemn the world and those who have refused to accept him as their Lord and Savior. Christians are co-heirs with Christ and possess full rights as sons and inherit salvation, eternal life, the earth, the kingdom of God, and all things. If you're not a Christian and have wondered about eternal life, God may be drawing you. Accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, for only God can save you.
No matter what I've ever done.
No matter what I've ever done.
No matter what you've ever done.
But what about?
No matter what you've ever done.
Even if?
You are no longer condemned, no matter what you have ever done. Non-cancelable, guaranteed reservation in heaven when you accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior. Learn how now.
All right, drivers, we're down to a 30-minute delay in Robertson County due to that crash in the median impacting both north and southbound 65 between exits 108 and 112. Closer by the airport here in Nashville, we've got some road work blocking the left lane. That's going to be Donaldson Pike northbound there at Terminal Drive. A child shot in Nashville. Happened right after noon today. We'll get you the details on that coming up at 1:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
He was the epitome of cool, Arthur Fonzarelli. Why? I don't know, because it was television. I think, man, the 50s must have been a tough place. Hey. Especially in Milwaukee at the time. It's very tough. You look at it and you thought, diversity.
Tough people in Milwaukee, man.
I remember one of the first episodes where they tried to soften him, where he was invited to the Cunninghams for Christmas.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
He was like, no, I got big plans. I got people to hang out with.
Yeah, yeah.
And they ended up at the garage where Fonzie worked and saw him in there alone, just eating a can of beans he had warmed on a hot plate.
Yeah, because he had nobody.
And they came in. It's like, why don't you come over and spend some time with people, and people who want you around? And that's when he was like, okay, I'll come over.
Okay, and that was it. Look, we had Chuck. We got rid of him. We don't know where he went.
It'd have been funny had Mr. C said, "Wait a minute, how many beans have you had?"
You're not going to tear my toilet up, are you? That's not how I want to spend my Christmas, man. All right? Having the plumber come out. Having Busy Bee come out here and fix the toilet because you blew it up.
Fonzarelli.
And by the end of the series, when he basically owned the show, they were using him in 100% different way where he was the good guy. He was the hero of the show.
Yeah.
You went to Fonzie to solve the problem.
He was a teacher.
Yeah.
They made him a teacher.
That's right. They did.
He lost all his cool points right there. Every cool point was out the window.
Well, remember okay, so he started out wearing a leather jacket,
Yes.
but remember eventually
No.
it was
He
just
started out actually wearing a white canvas jacket.
Yeah, that's right. Or
And-
grayish. Gray.
And Gary Marshall convinced the network we're giving people the wrong signal if he's wearing this instead of a protective leather jacket on his motorcycle.
Oh, I thought he started out with the leather jacket.
No.
But then when Gary Marshall went and had that argument with him, they were like, okay, yeah, you're right. That's fine. We'll put him in a leather jacket instead.
Yeah.
That just makes sense. They should have done that right from the get-go.
Right from the get-go. But, I mean, but he was cool. Now, did Fonzie, well, let's go. This is a huge study, all right, from all over the globe. And this was published today from the Journal of Experimental Psychology. So it was 12 different countries all over the world about what they deemed to be cool. Now, here's the interesting thing. Almost all of it lined up all over the world. Even if they don't have a word for cool or this, that, and the other, all of these things, for the most part, lined up 100%. These are the 6 things you need to be cool. Extroverted.
Yeah.
Check this one out. Hedonistic. Oh. Powerful, adventurous, open, and autonomous. Like a robot. You need to be on your own. Cool. I don't need you. Independent.
And did you say decadent?
No, hedonistic. Powerful.
Oh, yeah, that guy always had 1 or 2 girls on his
he always
arm.
had all kinds of
Yeah.
chicks, right?
Engaged in the pursuit of pleasure.
That's right.
Sensually self-indulgent.
He was powerful because he'd knock you out.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, look what he did to that jukebox.
No.
He could just hit it with his elbow.
All the time, scaring the jukebox.
And the episode where Richie had done something that was going to require him to produce a show of force.
Oh, that's right.
And Richie accidentally tripped or something, or smashed hit his head on the wall or the sink or something. And he was like, "This works out perfect." And they left Arnold's bathroom, and somebody goes, "What happened?" He goes, "I got hit by the sink." And Fonzie goes, "Yeah, the sink," while he's got a lead pipe in his hand.
So, and it made it seem like, he did it because he didn't really want to do it. But are Fonzie some of those things? Kind of. I mean, you think about it, right? He had, like you said, chicks. He was adventurous. He was totally. Remember when he jumped? Not only the shark, we forget. Remember in Arnold's parking lot when he jumped?
The buses?
The buses.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So all of those things, I think, make him cool. So those are the 6 things you need. You need to be extroverted, a little hedonistic, powerful, adventurous. You need to be open and autonomous. So you need to be kind of okay to be by yourself. Not a lot of people are. But if you are at least 5 of those 6 things, you are cool. And the funny thing is, even in the Western countries and other countries, these 6 things all ended up at the top. And they said even without translation, everybody was familiar with these. So there you go. If you want to be cool, those are the things you need.
It reminds me of that Seinfeld episode where George didn't want Jerry to be funny in front of his new date.
Oh, yes.
So he started acting, real dark, And so George's date actually got the hots for Jerry.
That's so cool. Why?
He's funny. He's funny.
Yeah, funny
He's
will
not
get
dark.
the chicks as well. But if you want to be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got to be dark.
Fonzie definitely lost his cool, they said, when he jumped the shark. You didn't jump a shark, so how would you know? It's terrifying. Coming up, maybe we'll talk about stuff and more stuff. Summerween is almost upon us. If you don't know what that is, be prepared, because we've created a new holiday because we need to spend more money. It's the Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7.
.1:30 on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. They're making progress a little bit at a time there. That crash in Robertson County in the median. It has both north and southbound 65 going slower. It's about a 25-minute delay now between exit 108 and exit 112. Here in Nashville, Metro Police investigating after a child was shot over in the Nations. Reports say it was a gun that was unsecured that the child was able to get to. Happened right after noon today. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt moments ago.
The president himself has not talked to Iran, which he pointed out in his truth statement.
Yeah, she says Steve Witkoff has been in communications with the Iranians. What about the vote-a-rama on the big, beautiful bill act there, Caroline?
The White House and the president are adamant that this bill is passed and that this bill makes its way to his desk. Republicans need to stay tough and unified during the home stretch.
Yeah, but what about Tom Tillis, who called the Medicaid cuts disastrous and took everyone by surprise?
Well, he is just wrong. And the president and the vast majority of Republicans who are supportive of this legislation are right.
How about Alligator Alcatraz? Did President Trump choose that by design?
Well, look, when you have illegal murderers and rapists and heinous criminals in a detention facility surrounded by alligators, yes, I do think that's a deterrent for them to try to escape.
Yeah, President Trump's going there to see it for himself tomorrow. Trump administration threatening all of Harvard University's federal funding over civil rights violations in a new letter sent to the university today. It's the latest in a campaign of targeting the university. The Trump administration already freezing more than $2 billion in grants to Harvard, threatened to rescind their tax-exempt status, and gone after the university's ability to enroll foreign students. That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Heavy downpours possible across the mid-state today. I'm WSMV4 First Alert Meteorologist Stefano DiPietro. Hit-miss showers and thunderstorms develop this afternoon. We'll see temperatures near 90 today with the heat index in the mid to the upper 90s. Tonight we're down to the 70s. The rain tapers off. We're in the 80s tomorrow. It's still very humid, so with daytime heating, a few more showers and storms will fire up. We'll dry things out for the middle and end of this week with highs climbing back into the 90s.
It's going to be hot and sticky, and there's still opportunities. If you have trouble with your HVAC, get them out there today. My buddies over at Busy Bee, they're going to take care of you. Let me tell you something. You buy a new unit, and you've got a little bit of time still to do it, you'll get entered in a chance to win a free 3-day beach getaway. You can buy the unit. They're going to take care of everything if you win, including gas, 2 meals per day, lodging, and the winner's going to be announced on Facebook Live. Only clients who purchase this month a new HVAC unit from Busy Bee are eligible to win. One winner. Restrictions apply. On top of that, great opportunities to still get amazing deals when it comes to your HVAC and your plumbing. So let's just say, for the sake of argument, you're like, hey, I got myself a nice HVAC unit from them, but I need my ducts cleaned. Well, you buy the medium package, mid-tier, boom, you get the deluxe package for free. How about a $500 selected tankless upright water heaters, 15% off whole home drain repipes, and $99 drain video inspection, or $79 off water heater flush. And remember, 2 years for one when it comes to the Beehive Club. Right now, $99 gets you this year and next year. Satisfaction guaranteed. Call our friends at Busy Bee, HVAC, 775-7833, 775-7833, or visit busybeehvac.com. Apparently, there is a big meeting getting ready to happen, some negotiations to maybe get back the rest of the hostages in Israel. Probably because Trump said, dude, focus on this. Stop starting a war with everybody around here. BB.
Get the hostages.
Get the hostages. That's it. Get the hostages. You need to do it. By the way, we haven't done it all day today. We need to do it right now.
Now it's time for the Swamp Ass News Report with the weather wizard, Ken Weaver.
All right, what are we looking at this week?
Well, let's look at this week. I see highs mainly in the 90s, but nothing like what we have seen last week. Now, Saturday could be different. We're looking at a high around 97 degrees on Saturday. Independence Day, it starts ramping up 94. But from what I understand, humidity is supposed to tamp down about midweek. And so the lower the humidity, the less swamp assness we get.
Okay, that's good. Yeah. I'll take the heat with no humidity. That's a breeze. That humidity gives you that swamp ass feel, and we don't need that.
It sure does.
Especially on a holiday week.
No, sir.
And the amount of people traveling. Yeah, I heard you say to Brian, when don't we break records?
Yeah,
outside of COVID, we're always breaking records.
Yeah, it's every year. I feel like we could, reporters from airports could just use the same scripts. And, they could just mail it in. Another record travel year.
Gas is going to be low. 58 billion people will be on the roads today. The best day to travel is any day but Wednesday or Thursday.
A special alert for Murfreesboro, Tennessee, where at any given time, at least 5,000 people will be in front of you at the traffic light.
Oh, man, that sucks. For me on my walk today, I will tell you, it was rather quiet. And I think people have already taken their vacation, at least started to.
Yeah, I couldn't hear I-24 whenever my wife and I took our walk this morning. We're about 3 miles from it. Usually I can hear it.
Yeah, it feels like it's definitely very quiet out there. Bunch of people still working, but not the same as you would normally see. And this is the big holiday before the Labor Day, which will be the last hoorah of summer. And then, of course, it's on to the fall stuff. You don't have to worry about that now because there's a new thing out there, kids. Are you ready for Summerween?
Some might call it a scary summer sight.
She is a moment.
Summerween, exploding on social media.
Summerween?
In backyards and on store shelves.
Just basically celebrating Halloween twice a year instead of once a year, because once a year is not enough.
Retailers taking advantage of Summerween, combining summer and Halloween more than ever.
Retailers are consistently trying to figure out ways to generate sales to compete with their own numbers from last year.
Come forth and enter if you dare.
The Home Depot already debuting their newest bony beauty.
Introducing Ultra Skelly.
And Lowe's, even earlier, with items available in April, a full 6 months from the holiday.
Summerween is here. Gets you thinking, when is it too early? I will buy stuff if I see it and I'm like, because we're really big into Halloween, because I got kids in the whole 9 yards.
I love Halloween.
I love it. So we do it up big time. And it was weird last year because we got here October 1st last year, and so we didn't really have a time. Our stuff was all stored. Normally our house is absolutely done up. I've got giant, huge blow-ups. I got like a 15-foot dinosaur that blows. I mean,
all right.
I love it. It is fantastic. But we didn't have a chance. So I said this year we're going to, and I like it. I usually think September 1st we start pulling some of the stuff out, maybe doing some stuff inside because we enjoy it and the kids really like it, especially when you got a 6-year-old. Charlie's just living for it. She'll be 7. But I was... Summerween, right? It's always at Christmas in July.
I mean, why don't we just start doing Thanksgiving twice a year, too? I love the food.
Yeah, I'm not going to say no to that. Oh, Cracker Barrel has their Halloween stuff out.
Already?
Yeah. Some people say we used to celebrate Summerween in October by putting up 80s in... What? Putting my 80s in people's pumpkins? Oh, M80s. So, well... So it's here, though. But people, they're looking. Retailers are always looking for what else can we do. Like, when is it too early for Christmas stuff? Because you'll start to see September 1st, you go down the Halloween aisle, and then you'll turn, and there'll be one shelf, and there's Santa Claus.
It's just kind of slow. It's just kind of a trickle.
It's a creeping in.
And then right after Halloween, boom.
An explosion.
Dude, I've already got my 4th of July decorations up, but they're for next year.
Are they? That's how good you did? That's it. I've already got my stuff. And some people out there, and look, let's be real, some of you leave your Christmas lights up all year. We know who you are.
Hey, man, my neighborhood, there were people had their Christmas trees up. I'm not joking you, the day after Halloween.
But if you do it that way, if you leave your decorations up after Christmas, you look like a lazy idiot for a while, but then when the season rolls around again, you're the go-getter.
That's right. You're ahead of the game.
You're smart. People are like, that guy's smart.
You're like Fonzie. You're cool.
When did we get we got our Christmas tree we went a week before Thanksgiving to the farmer's market over there. And God, I'm just trying to think. I think we ordered our tree. It came Friday after Thanksgiving. That's when it came. And it was the best tree we've ever had. Because I like living trees. My wife, I like living trees. I think they're awesome. But
I've got a fake one.
You do?
Yeah. It's just easier.
Yeah, see.
But I get it, man.
I do. I love a living tree. I mean, we were totally cool. We had fake ones. We had 2 fake ones, but part of it is because Charlie's young, and I want her to go pick out the tree and do that stuff. She got a tiny tree too. So, and we just moved out here. So it was, was Santa Claus ever going to remember? And then Santa's like, I'm going to bring you guys a cat. I'm like, oh, thanks. So was that, Santa. So he was cool like that, brought us a cat, who, by the way, loves me the most. I don't know why. Maybe because I feed him all the time.
Yeah, he got friendly with me when I was over there feeding him.
Yeah,
that came first couple of days, couldn't find him. Third day, it was like, oh, the guy with the food.
Oh, the guy with the food. That's right. That's what it is. So, but yeah, so I have to get through Halloween and Christmas. I can't listen to Christmas music till Thanksgiving. On Thanksgiving, I can go listen to Christmas music. I'm like, all right, we're here.
Yeah.
We're doing this.
Yeah, I can watch Christmas shows on Thanksgiving.
Oh, absolutely.
But not until after Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Yeah, but you guys are going to find out this year that I have very few dreams I have not achieved, and I have more. But one of them is I want to write a Hallmark movie.
There you go.
A Christmas movie. I want to write it. I don't know what it's going to be about. Probably a single mom still living in her hometown. And maybe there's a guy who looks like a lumberjack who comes home. He used to be a karaoke singer.
Teaches her son how to catch fly balls.
Yeah, that's it. And they fall in love around a Christmas tree. You know what you don't see after Christmas? Him getting absolutely hammered and just beating her. Cheating on her every day. Oh, my God.
Dude, I think the Hallmark channels are running the Christmas movies now.
Well, they do Christmas in July.
Yeah.
But I get super excited for, like, all the new ones. Like,
yeah.
How many times can I see Lacey Chabert? Like 100.
Dude, I one time had to slap myself out of a trance. For whatever reason, this Hallmark Christmas show was on, and I realized I'd been watching it for about a half hour.
Really?
And just had to, all right, enough of this. It was something about a shoe. There was a special shoe or something.
Oh, see?
It had Rob Lowe in it.
First of all, Rob Lowe, phenomenal actor.
Oh, I freaking love
Could
Rob
be
Lowe.
12, could be 106. He has the same disease that Dick Clark had.
Yeah. Can't tell how old he is by looking at him.
My goodness. Somebody said, Chad, we heard your list about the 6 must of coolness now. Now you want to talk about Halloween, Christmas. You're damn informative. Yes. So, Clay and Buck over on that other station, kick your ass. Whatever. What are they talking about? What do you think Trump's going to do with Iran? I don't know. What do you think they're going to do? What do you think he's going to do with the big, beautiful bill? I don't know. What do you think they're... How boring is that? Is that what people talk about in life? You know how many people have asked me about the Big Beautiful Bill? Nobody.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've not. Ron, I got, because war is different. People ask about war. But the Big Beautiful Bill, because nobody understands it. It's big and it's silly and it's giant and we don't even know what it looks like. It's like my Hallmark movie. It's incomplete.
It's a work in progress.
It is a work in progress. Oh, my goodness. People are helping me write this movie. This movie's going to be good.
Man, we're kind of getting Nick Cage to play in it.
Oh, Nick would. You kidding me? Him and Lacey Chabert. Could you see them falling in love? Lacey Chabert. Who was the other one who left Hallmark? It was Bure. Candace Cameron Bure.
Why'd she leave?
She left because they had I think it was, she said it was because there was a gay one, I think.
Yeah.
But from what I understand, there was some negotiations that maybe didn't go the way she was hoping. And I think it was American Family offered her a buttload of money to come over and do those movies.
Oh, okay.
So the negotiations are going on, and they're not going the way she wants, so she blames the entire homosexual community.
Yeah, that's it.
That's
it.
nice.
Exactly.
Why didn't you stay with Hallmark? The gays.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Oh. Nathan from Busy Bee hit us up, and he thinks it should be about a plumber.
It should.
Well, no,
That's a
it's got to
good
be about a
idea.
guy that comes home and he's exhausted from all the hot sex he's had, and now he wants to come back and he's tired, and he's probably got some sort of community service that he has to do because the old man Jenkins, he did something to old man Jenkins' yard, so he's got to do community service, and the lady that's enforcing it happens to be the old love of his life.
No, dude. What happens is he gets home from a hard day's work, and the single lady with the child who moved in next door, her toilet is stopped up.
Oh.
And she needs him to get her out of that jam, and he does.
Yeah, because everybody's coming over for the big
But she
Christmas
doesn't have
stuff.
any cash to pay him with.
Yeah, she
so-
doesn't.
She's got a turkey in the oven. She even cooked a ham.
Oh, my Lord.
And she's got all of her friends and family coming over. And she's got to get that toilet fixed.
Yeah. You'd see, guys, he knows. He's with me. We're doing it. He's got to have a cool name like Chip. What's her name going to be? Got to give her a cool name.
Oh, yeah.
Annabelle and Chip falling in love. And their daughter. And something's got to be wrong with the daughter, right? She got to have big glasses.
Yeah. Got big glasses, probably gets bullied.
All the time. But you see, the plumber guy's going to come. He's going to pick her up in a beat-up old truck, right?
Yeah, and it's going to be Nick Cage.
Oh, it's going to be Nick Cage. And
but he's going to be buff.
Yeah, but with Nick Cage, eventually, at some point in time, he's just going to kill everybody at the school.
Exactly.
Oh, kids, you don't get this anywhere else. Yes, I know. She's going to have her pipes cleaned. We heard that. That's what the movie's called. It's called Home for the Holidays. Your pipes are getting cleaned. Nick Cage plays Santa. Oh, my God, he plays Santa Claus. Oh, it's getting better. He's Santa Claus's son.
All right, the single lady next door is a long-lost cousin of John Wick.
Oh.
And Nick and he comes in and he sees Nick Cage and he doesn't know he's supposed to be there, and they get in a fight.
Oh.
Right now, one of the listeners is writing it down. Is going to submit it to Hallmark and make $1 million off of these ideas.
Somebody said, say the Christmas pipe layer. He's like, ho, ho, ho. Coming up, more of Chad and Ken and Bell. Live the Hallmark dream. We got all kinds of stuff coming. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Here to pipe lay. It's the Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7. Oh, kids, MyPillow has deep discounts on the Percal bed sheets, just $24.98. Now, this is for all of the sheets. So there's 11 different colors to choose from. And this includes from just a regular old queen all the way up to the Cow King, the King King, the Cow King King, Cow King, the biggest of the big, just $24.98. Right now, Percal, long staple cotton, breathable, great deep pockets, so you're not going to have to worry when you roll over and it comes undone and hits you. You don't want any of that. These are amazing, and you're going to love every one of these things right now on sale. Sleep, breathable, cool, comfortable. These long staple Percal bed sheets are amazing, and you can get yours right now for $24.98. Deep pockets, you're going to love that because, like I say, and the great thing is when you wash them, they don't shrink, which is cool. Get yours now. Go to mypillow.com/Benson, mypillow.com/Benson. Get yours, the Percal bed sheets, the best bed sheets around from our friends over at MyPillow, mypillow.com/Benson.
Terrible story out of West Nashville where apparently a toddler shot himself in the head. We've got that and other top stories coming up at 2 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
That is awful.
Yeah, it is.
And parents, How'd he get the gun? I don't think the toddler passed a background check.
Yeah.
Once again, parenting, not parenting the right way.
Well, he was clearly a member of a gang.
Clearly. Good God. Just awful. I swear. It's just...
Right when I'm having fun.
Yes, exactly. Well, some people are mad that we're having fun. This is not what we want. We'll talk about the big, beautiful bill. The big, beautiful bill. Is it passed yet, or are they still vote-a-ramming it?
It's... I think the vote-a-rama has started. Who knows, man? I mean, and will this be the end of it? Is the vote-a-rama just to say, okay, now we can vote on it?
Yeah, I'm... Well, there's a battle going on, right? Because you've got, obviously, some states, because I hate to break it to you, there's a lot of people out there in red states that are on food stamps, Medicaid, stuff like that. And the fear of those people losing those because those people vote, and there is a fear there that those people are going to get voted out. It's a weird thing, right? In some areas, you're damned if you do, if you're damned if you don't. So if you don't vote for this, you're going to get voted out. It's because this is what Trump wants, and you need to give into what he wants, or else you'll pay the price. And if it goes sideways, they're going to go, why didn't you try to stop them? You knew this bill was a nightmare. So until it is done, meaning they've gone through the whole thing, they've looked at everything from top to bottom, they voted on it, it goes down, then the House takes a look, they throw some more crap in there, and then we get an actual vote, and then Trump on the 4th of July, which I'm telling you guys, I'm picturing it in my mind. He's on maybe the roof, I don't know, something like that. He rappels, right? Like this is just...
Oh, my God.
He rappels down, right, with the 940 pages, holding it in his arms, and he signs it, fireworks in the bath, the whole 9 yards. That's what he wants.
He rappels into a seat with a desk.
With a desk.
And holds his right hand up, and a pen flies into it.
That's it. And then he can deliver the stuff of everybody's wanted this. It's the greatest thing ever. Best bill. Biggest tax cuts in history, all of the things. And I think one of the things they have been fighting about is some Republicans want to make this a 2-year for the tax, extend him 2 years, and he wants it permanent because I think they're looking at this if this thing doesn't go the way they think, and which is a possibility because human beings are involved. And I have news for you guys. Go look and see who's put the most debt on the books. It's not the Democrats. It's been the Republicans time and time again because they love the tax cuts, which are great. They overspend, though. They completely overspend, and it's frustrating.
It's like the Democrats are the old saying, tax and spend, tax and spend.
Yeah.
The Republicans, let's borrow and spend.
Borrow and spend. Borrow and spend. And borrow and spend. And that's what they're going to do. And if it goes to plan, it'll be the greatest thing in the history of mankind. If it goes the way that most things in government does, it's going to be a mosh posh with a lot of debt in it. So we'll see. Coming up, hour number 3 of the program, we'll talk about stuff. I promise. That'll be there. So there's that. It's Chet Ben's show. Super Talk 99.7.
2 o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Drivers, I'm checking on that situation there in Robertson County. A crash in the median still there, affecting both north and southbound 65 between Springfield, White House Highway 76, exit 108, and Gallatin Cross Plains Highway 25, exit 112. And now in Glencliff, we got a crash reported by police 24 eastbound at Briley Parkway. Another one in Smyrna. This is TDOT reporting the right lane blocked by a crash 24 eastbound at Almaville Road. Got the full forecast coming up in 4 minutes. Here in Nashville, an investigation is underway. This after a 3-year-old apparently shot themselves with a gun that was unsecured this afternoon. This happening over in the Nations neighborhood. Metro Police say officers were sent to the 3400 block of Elizabeth Jordan Street just after noon today. And they found a child had been shot in the head and that the child has been taken to Vanderbilt. This just in, the Department of Justice suing Los Angeles after protests against ICE raids earlier this month, which led President Trump to mobilize the National Guard there. And White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt taking questions today on the one big beautiful bill which the U.S. Senate's voting on.
Criticism from a Republican senator. Is that reason for concern for the passage of this?
No, it's not. We're confident this bill is going to be back at the White House by the 4th of July.
Yeah, Tom Tillis refusing to be threatened by President Trump's primary challenge, instead refusing to run for re-election over his objection to this bill. And here's how Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt responded when asked if the Democratic candidate for New York City Mayor Zoran Mamdani could be deported.
I haven't heard him say that. I haven't heard him call for that. But certainly he does not want this individual to be elected.
Tennessee 5th District Congressman Andy Ogles is calling for Mamdani to be stripped of citizenship and deported over rap lyrics expressing support for the Holy Land Five, which is a group convicted of funneling funds to Hamas. And President Trump going to pull out the executive order pen today.
This afternoon, the president will be signing an executive order to terminate the United States sanctions program on Syria. And this is in an effort to promote and support the country's path to stability and peace.
About an hour into deliberations for the sex trafficking and racketeering case of Sean Diddy Combs, there was an issue. The jury foreperson sending a note to the judge, juror number 25, was not able to follow the instructions. Here's Aaron Katursky.
The note did not elaborate, but asked the judge to speak to the juror or to interview the juror. And ultimately, the judge decided to send a note back, reminding all the jurors they must follow the judge's instructions and to continue deliberation.
That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
It's a marathon bill. It's a marathon.
It's a big votorama.
It is. I'm not quite sure what the votorama. Oh, they just vote to come on, really, Kevin? Just yes or no. That's all you need. You don't need to. They all stand around looking. It just looks like it's exhausting. He really wants us to stay through. Yes, he wants it. We have a big thing planned on Friday, guys. Come on. We've already got the 21-gun salute, somebody said. This is going to be great. The helicopter's been ordered. The fireworks. We can't do it on Saturday. It's got to be Friday. Oh, stay tough, the White House says. Stay tough or be primaried.
I wonder how many. So apparently during the Vote-a-rama or Vote-a-thon, you can just put up as many amendments as you want.
Yep.
So if Democrats want, does this give them the ability to just delay this thing?
Yeah. That's what they're going to do. They're just going to continue to add amendment after amendment after amendment.
It'll just be ridiculous things.
Of course. Of course. I mean, what else? I mean, this is
every public school student gets a bookmarker.
That's it. Everyone. All of them.
It's a specially signed bookmarker by Chuck Schumer.
And Chuck's like, I agree. And then they go on. Trump's like, I can't believe it. This is what happens, though, every time we have it, because there's no bipartisan. There's none of it. We're not interested in bipartisan conversations. We're not interested in going, hey, what do you think would work over here? What do you guys think about this? I don't know why we're afraid of that. I don't know why we're afraid to have a conversation. You know why? Because politicians, the hubris, the narcissism is so great. And it's, I read Meditations, try to get through some of it every day, which is Marcus Aurelius. But there's an old story about Marcus Aurelius. If you don't know who he is, maybe the greatest leader of all time. One of them, for sure. Trump, I'm greater than him, but whatever. You go, Chad, okay? So, but when there was a big battle, obviously, so the Romans, they go and win this battle. I think it was like 161 through 66, smash a battle. And they go and he wins it. And the biggest thing they could ever do for a person on earth, if you will, in celebration while they're alive, was so this huge triumphant parade and stuff. He used to have a guy that was a slave that would stand behind him and whisper, "You're just an ordinary man." So he didn't get too high on himself. Crushed the hubris. And we now live in a world where that narcissism and hubris is the only thing that matters. There's no hubris. There's none of this stuff. I've got to absolutely be it. I'm the king of the kings. I'm all of the things, and it doesn't matter. Everybody's out for themselves. When I hear people talk about this, my whole thing is, what's best for America? I don't care what's best for your party or the other party. What's best for the average American is the only thing that should matter. I don't care. I care left or right. What's best for America and Americans? Because I hear them always talk about what's best for them, what's best for the party, but what's best for Americans? And apparently it's a bookmarker for every child. So how long is this going to go on for? Man, if I was the Democrats, I'd drag this thing on forever.
Yeah, they want to get... Dude, they've got to get back to their districts, too, and find the pulse of their constituents.
Well, I think the pulse of their constituent is, you guys need to fight hard for this.
Yeah.
That's it.
But they don't want to do that, dude. They want to go home, too.
Yeah, everybody wants to go home, right? Nobody wants to be there for 4th of July, right? Nobody wants to be... I don't know why. I'm sure it'd be pretty nice. They could probably bring burgers in, all that kind of stuff.
Or pizzas.
And here's the thing. If you pass it now, Trump's still going to want you there on the 4th of July to watch him sign it when he slides down the rope as he rappels out of the helicopter through the fireworks.
In a tank top.
Michael Bay directing it. Because you know Michael Bay. If you guys know anything about Michael Bay, he could do fried green tomatoes. There's going to be explosions.
Yeah.
There's going to be cars blowing up and buildings getting decimated.
Yeah. At some point in time, somebody's going to get some sickness, right? Little women. It would just be, it doesn't matter. That's the beauty of him. And that's who Trump would bring in.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. So, but I don't know what the mega bill is going to look like. They're going to be saddled with debt if there is debt. We'll find out what kind of debt there's going to be. I don't know for sure. What I do know is there seems to be a lot of stuff added. And don't pay attention. I've been telling people this. So, if you want to get serious, because last hour we got really in a lot of trouble from some people who said that they only listen to us because we should be informative. We're unlike the other stations who don't make them laugh.
Yeah, they never have fun.
No, they don't. God, I'm already bored talking about this crap. First of all, it's not even an end. We're talking about a hypothetical. So, but you're not going to know what it looks like until the end. And the end is nigh? No, the end may be days from now. You think they're going to get catheters put in? Who was that had that done? Do you remember that lady who she went and it was about abortion? And they talked about how brave she was, because that's always brave. And I think she spoke for like 18 hours. And it was just...
Gotta look that up.
It was one of those things where she was so brave. And I think she had a catheter. So that way she could urinate, for those of you not keeping score. So...
Let's see here. Come on now.
You got to be really dedicated to the cause to go through all that.
I'd be like, no.
Wendy Davis.
That's right, Wendy Davis.
She went 13 hours in the Texas Senate.
That's right. So you had her, and then you had, God, what's his name? Who did it? Thinks he's Spartacus, the senator.
Was Wendy
Cory
a Democrat
Booker.
or a
Yeah,
Republican?
she's a Democrat.
Yeah, she's a Democrat.
Yeah, who was the...
Cory Booker, remember that? I'm
Cory
Spartacus.
Booker.
Settle down. You're not Spartacus. Spartacus would have kicked your ass.
You're not even Popeye.
Yeah. Oh, cheese there. Somebody said, just like this text, the common man won't talk about this stuff. There's somebody that that has a different view. That's true. Why are we afraid to talk to people who have different views?
People get mad, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you never know who you're talking to, and I mean, they're just gonna get mad at you.
Yeah,
try to fight you.
Which is bizarre. It's politics.
Yeah, suddenly the person that you were having a great conversation with that you like, and then the subject changes to politics, and wow, look, you turned into the most evil piece of garbage in the world.
Ever. I know. Before I really liked you, I liked the fact that you were really nice to my kids, and you did a lot of good stuff, but then I found out you voted for Trump, so obviously you're a Nazi. That, and that's that's where the conversation goes. So it's just so bizarre. But this is when this is going to affect you. I'm going to give you guys a snapshot into this. When it does, that's when it affects you. When you see savings, or you feel the economy's taking off, or you see the effects at whatever, them spying on us through this giant, big, beautiful bill, or what that's when it'll affect you. Until then, most people it's 940 pages. They don't even know what's in it.
Yeah, I guarantee you not a single one of them read the whole
Not a single one.
thing.
Nobody does.
What they did was flip to the pages that had their special interest in it, make sure it was worded properly, and then they put it back down.
You need to bring one of those autistic kids in that can memorize everything. Go, Henry.
Just
Henry.
one read.
Henry, 127. What's it say on there? Ooh, I don't like that. Let's take that out. Right?
And he doesn't even have to read it.
No,
he just looks at it.
Looks at it with it, and boom, he's got it. That's what you need. One of those. I'd get you the guy that would come, and they would tell you what day any date was. You're like 1542 March 3rd. That was a Thursday.
Yeah. And they're right.
They are right. First of all, here's something. How would I know if they're right?
Well, yeah. That's true.
You'd have to ask the other autistic person.
But how would you know? Like the calendar on my Google Map, it doesn't go back that far.
Go back.
Like you should flip it through. Go, how would I know? We had a kid at school that could tell you this was his. Like other people were like, because this was after what was that movie with Dustin Hoffman? Rain Man.
Rain Man.
So, and we had a kid at school. He could tell you what was on TV any day of the week at any time. That was his power.
Oh, I could tell you that when I was a kid.
So, like what time it was, what the episode was about, all of that stuff. He didn't have any other powers. He wasn't good at math, right? He couldn't count cards. None of that stuff. It was like, oh, good. Your guy just does that. Oh, my Lord. So there you go. That's the update. And
It's a vote-a-rama.
Vote-a-rama. And so at this moment in time, they're still voting, and everybody can now add crap to it. And remember, once it passes here,
it's got to go back.
It's got to go back. And then they'll try to pass it again. And then if all goes well, Trump will sign the bill 4th of July night, rappelling down from a helicopter.
In a tank top.
Yoked and ripped. As he lands, he's not even going to land. He's going to float right onto his chair like a cherub. Into one hand, he's going to have fireworks shooting up, holding it with God Bless America behind.
And I bet you money he has a cape on that says MAGA on it.
Absolutely. And then it's going to have at the bottom of the thing that says, if you'd like to purchase this cape, go to Trump.org. So there you go. That's what we think is going to happen.
And then Kiss will perform a live concert.
That's right. Yeah. Or all the conservative. Coming up next, Ted Nugent and Kid Rock.
It'd be Ted Nugent and Kid Rock.
That's it. The Nuge. The Nuge. So that's what's happening. This week, though, it's 4th of July. We're pretty excited about it. We've been asking you guys the questions of what's your favorite side? Like, what's your side, your jam is, by the way, Ken wins it. Barbecue beans.
Yeah,
right?
barbecued with bacon on.
What kind of barbecue are you liking? Are you liking the Kansas City barbecue, a little sweet?
Shoot, dude, I just do I do Great Value Original.
That's nice.
And it's just as good as anything else.
So
what is that? The
Walmart.
Walmart? Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's a great value is what it is.
It's a great value.
It's not just regular value. Some people are like, it's an okay value. I'm like, that doesn't work.
Some people say this is a great value.
Some people do.
But it's not great value.
No, it's not. Yeah, good value. Don't settle for good. Settle for great value. That's what they should say. By the way, if you want to know where the best deals are this year, Aldi has the best deals, apparently.
They always do.
Yeah, they have the best deals for everything.
I love that store.
I love that store. With the Albrechts. That's who. There were two brothers, and one of them got kidnapped in 1971.
Really?
He got kidnapped, and he paid $2 million to free himself. Then they caught the people, and when they caught them, there was only a little bit of the money back. Then he tried to write it off on his taxes, and the German courts took him to court. Said you can't write off your kidnapping, but he's like, it's a business expense. I wouldn't have paid this money otherwise. And they told him you can't. So that's a little bit of history for you guys. If you get kidnapped and you pay the ransom, chances are, although Trump will probably figure out a way to do it.
Interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. Jack Daniel's barbecue sauce is the best.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be good. Put 1 tablespoon of instant coffee in your beans, then cook them. This seems like a lot on your grill. Oof.
That's
good, but it's not great value.
Yeah.
That's what we're telling you guys. It's good, but it's not great value. Let us know what your favorite thing is. Coming up next, this band's the hottest band in the world, and you probably never heard of them, but you will, and there's controversy. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7. Birch Gold. Why gold? Because with the potential for the dollar to get hit, especially if the BRICS, folks, that's Brazil, Russia, India, Iran, China, do what they can to get off the dollar, then what would happen? Well, the 80-year dominance of the dollar is going to go away, and that could threaten the value of the dollar. And what happens then? Gold. So you want to be prepared for that. So what are you waiting for? I want you to text the word Benson to 989898 today for my friends over at Birch Gold. They're going to get you out an info kit, talk to you about why this is smart for things like your savings account, which is huge, and maybe even looking at your IRA and 401k, or maybe you just want to have the physical side of gold, which you can do as well. It's a simple and easy thing to do. Diversify yourself, and Birch can help you get there with precious metals. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau. They're amazing. Text the word Benson to 989898 today to get your free info kit on gold. No obligation, only useful information. They arm you that way, let you make the best decision for yourself. Text the word Benson now to 98, 98, 98 for Birch Gold.
Spring Hill City Hall evacuated due to a bomb threat. An active investigation after a toddler in West Nashville apparently shot themselves. And an Idaho firefighter ambush update coming up at 2:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
They're controversial. Bob Villain. What? Sounds like a weird name. But this weekend at Glastonbury, they rocked and rolled and said some stuff.
So look, we're not pacifist punks here over at Bob Villain Enterprises. We're not pacifist punks. We are the violent punks, because sometimes you got to get your message across with violence, because that is the only language that some people speak, unfortunately.
So you're thinking, well, what's wrong with that? They're punk rockers. Well, it was what they say in their support of a certain thing. And what they said this weekend that caused BBC to apologize, said that should never have been on television or the stream.
Free, free! Free, free! Free, free! Alright, but have you heard this one, though? Death, death to the IDF! Death, death to the IDF! Death, death to the IDF! Death, death to the IDF!
So they chanted that, and they've been dropped today by United Talent Agency, because apparently they had no idea that there may be some Jewish people in the entertainment industry. Unaware of that.
Yeah.
On top of that, they are going to be investigated along with Kneecap, and Kneecap is the other band that played Glastonbury this weekend, and they're Northern Irish rappers who are, how should we say this? They're controversial as well, and they've said a lot of things. And in a country that is putting people in prison over tweets, there's some serious issues. Even Keir Starmer got involved. He's like, I can't believe he said that. It was very nice. Because that's something Keir Starmer would say the way he say it. That's the Prime Minister, the Brits, by the way, for the English. Oh, I can't believe it's happened there. Oh, of course, we should stop that. The other controversial band is Velvet Sundown. You ever heard of them? They're the hot band right now on Spotify.
There's a part of me that's angry, there's a part of me that's sad. And the worst parts I let go of always seem to come right back. Between my expectations.
It's a pretty good song, right? They're not a band. They have 400,000 listens a day and growing. They're not a band. They are AI. They've got pictures. They've got the whole 9 yards. They've got a backstory. And they have a full album that, quite frankly, I think is pretty good. It is. It's not a bad song. It isn't.
I can't say it is.
And they look the part, too. This is their other single that has been released that is also hitting pretty hard, the kids would say. Oh, yeah, baby.
Dust on the wind, boots on the ground, smoke in the sky, no peace found.
None of it's real.
Wow.
None of it's real. And they've got a look. They've got the whole, it is crazy how real it looks. And overnight, they went from about 30,000 subs to like 400,000. They're over 500,000 now. And the question is, are people going to be cool with it? I mean,
who makes the money off of them?
That's the thing I'm trying to figure out. Who makes the money off of it? So, and you got to give them names, right? So, it's just, now they've picked up another 70,000 listeners in the last couple hours. I don't know who makes the money off of it. So it's good. And it's even what people are saying, even people who are, this is what they do for a living. They're like, it's hard to say that's not good.
I mean, it's not my cup of tea, but I can't say it's bad.
No. And if you saw those guys and look like hippies, they make them look a little like Dave Matthews-y, a cross between Dave Matthews and who is it? The Sex on Fire people?
Oh, Kings of Leon.
Kings of Leon, like one guy's got long hair with a beard and then the other guy just got glasses. They make him look the part, right? They're all wearing tweed and stuff like that because but you listen to it and you're like, damn, you would never know.
No, I mean, had you not said that, I would have just thought it's a regular band.
And that's what's coming. That's what's coming. And it's here. We were talking to somebody earlier who's, about this, and I played it for him, and he's like, the music industry is going to have to come to some sort of reckoning.
Bjorn from ABBA is actually writing a musical and using AI to do it.
Yeah.
And he talks about how helpful it can be if you get stuck musically.
Yeah.
But and he was always ABBA's lyricist. He did all the lyrics. But he said when he tries to get it to generate an idea for lyrics, they always come out crap.
Yeah. Well, his lyrics. I mean, come on. It's Bjorn. You can't compete with Bjorn.
That's true.
He's great value for sure. There's no doubt about that. So it's corporate music has their way. That's what's coming. Nobody wanted to get rid of the artists more than corporate music. Oh, yeah. There's no doubt. I mean, if they could control it and they could pay themselves for you to listen to the music that they control. The thing is, though, because the artists now, they know where their money's made. Their money's made online on their own. Their money's made at concerts.
Concerts.
And that's where you could do this, though. I mean, think about, was it the Gorillaz? Were kind of fake.
In the 70s, record companies would send out bands on tour, give them massive amounts of tour support because that was a loss leader to try to create a hit album. Now the album's the loss leader so that you can try to go out and have a successful tour.
Oh, just because you're not making the money off the albums anymore. You're not making the money off unless you own everything yourself. So,
and unless you're a giant artist, because the algorithm is going to push the stuff that's getting the most listens out to even more people. So if you're a Taylor Swift, you're guaranteed the lion's share of that chunk of money. Or if you're, a Jay-Z or I can't think of any other giant artist right now, but it's
Beyonce.
There you go. Or Beyonce. they're going to absorb most of the money that's available from the spins.
It's going to be interesting. The Monkees were fake. Yes, they were. But they were a real band eventually, where this isn't. Like, you're not going to get, unless, of course, you build this and then you find 4 guys who can replicate this on stage. But would you go see that? Or would you rather see a fake concert with these guys? I bet it's going to happen soon, guys. It is. Coming up, speaking of that, we'll talk about already issues with old Diddy there. And we're going to give you our take on whether or not we think he's guilty. Some other stuff coming up as well. If you're missing the show, we say shame on you. Grab the podcast. Chad Benson, Super Talk 997.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Checking traffic here. I see that 65 northbound. Looks like there's a crash there at Rosa Parks Boulevard. Also 24 eastbound at Briley Parkway South. Then in Antioch, 24 westbound at the Blue Hole Road overpass. Checking on that situation, that earlier accident in Robertson County, 65 northbound and southbound. Might still be a little bit of a delay there between Springfield, White House Highway 76, exit 108, and Gallatin Cross Plains Highway 25, exit 112. 24 eastbound at Almaville Road in Smyrna. We've got the full forecast coming up in 4 minutes. Right now in Middle Tennessee, Spring Hill City Hall has been evacuated due to a bomb threat. Reports say police and fire crews dispatched to respond. Evacuation of the City Hall there in Spring Hill. As a precaution, residents being advised stay away from the area due to that alleged bomb threat. Here in Nashville, Metro Police investigating after a toddler shot themselves in the head with a gun that was not properly secured. The call went out just after noon today in the Nations. And the body of a man found on an Idaho mountainside is believed to be the suspected gunman in yesterday's fatal ambush of firefighters responding to that brush fire that was called in. Police have identified this person found dead in the woods as Wes Rowley. Not sure if he killed himself or if he was killed by a police bullet. They don't know. 2 firefighters were killed. This one radioed in and certain it was a trap.
I'm pinned down behind Battalion 1's rig. It's clear to me that this fire was set intentionally to draw us in.
Police believe the lone shooter set the fire in order to ambush the firefighters. And again, the attacker, they believe now, found dead there on that mountainside in Coeur d'Alene. That's the latest news. Weather is next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Heavy downpours possible across the mid-state today. I'm WSMV4 First Alert Meteorologist Stefano DiPietro. Hit and miss showers and thunderstorms develop this afternoon. We'll see temperatures near 90 today with the heat index in the mid to the upper 90s. Tonight we're down to the 70s. The rain tapers off. We're in the 80s tomorrow. It's still very humid, so with daytime heating, a few more showers and storms will fire up. We'll dry things out through the middle and end of this week with highs climbing back into the 90s.
Retirement Ready Toolkit from Beacon is ready for you. Pick up the phone, call 615-488-9303, 615-488-9303. There's no cost, no obligation, no pressure when you call Beacon. They're not going to go, you got to do this, you got to do that. No, what they want you to do is take a look at what they offer, which is full service across the board investment advisor. That includes tax planning, estate planning, even healthcare, long-term lending. They've got it all covered for you, as well as the dollars and cents when it comes to what's happening in your investment account. So when you call them, they're going to get you out of Money Enough for Life book, a retirement planning checklist, and a maximizing your retirement income white paper. No cost, no obligation, and again, no pressure. They're committed to being your full-service investment advisor. This is what it's all about, because so many times people forget about all the other things. They think about the dollars and cents, and there's a lot more to that in retirement. So what are you waiting for? Call them today, 615-488-9303, 615-488-9303, or check Beacon out online at askbeaconnow.com. My Pillow has the Percal bed sheets. You want to sleep? Well, do it, My Pillow. $24.98 right now. And they're awesome. They're comfortable. You're going to sleep super cool. Fancy. I like to say that. Pretty fancy. This long staple cotton's awesome. 11 colors to choose from. $24.98. $24.98 for these. And this includes all sizes, right? So you go and buy a twin. It's this. You go and buy a king, cow king, super king, big king, little king, the king. It's $24.98. Awesome. Made in America. Super incredibly comfortable. Deep pockets so you don't get those things popping off at night. And right now you can save big, huge, as the kids would say. $24.98 for the MyPillow Percal bed sheets. Save now. Use my code Benson. Go to mypillow.com/Benson. That's mypillow.com/Benson for the best around the Percal bed sheets. mypillow.com/Benson. Grab these things while you can. Just $24.98. Yeah, baby. Already issues with the trial. Ken and I were talking about it earlier. We think there's a good chance Diddy's going to get off.
I would not be surprised.
No, I wouldn't be surprised. I think he's guilty of some stuff, but like what Aaron Katurski said, when the judge delivered it, reasonable doubt doesn't mean 100% I believe they're not guilty. It means there's enough in there that he may not be guilty. So even if it's 60-40, you lean towards guilt, there's 40% that's reasonable doubt. And that's what that is. So you can't convict him on that. Yeah, maybe he did it. I think more likely he did it. And the prosecution, where they leaned in, I thought they did a good job, is like, yeah, he sucks. He's an awful person. We get it. He's been violent in the past.
Yeah, that video of him kicking his ex-girlfriend.
Yeah, Ventura.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that doesn't make him all of these things.
Doesn't make him a sex trafficker.
No, it doesn't make him a sex trafficker. Doesn't mean that he is, any of the things, the drugs and all of that. It doesn't make him any of those things. And him having orgies or freakouts doesn't make him, maybe you think it's weird. Maybe you think it's gross. Maybe you think it's all of the things, but doesn't make it illegal. Because there are videos on a thing called the internet where there's a lot of other weird stuff that happens that's not illegal. Morally, you might find it, reprehensible. Totally get that. But it doesn't make it illegal. And I think that's where they did a good job. But you and I both, Ken, we were talking about it. Where were all the other people I thought they were going to bring up?
I thought for sure that they were going to subpoena, we were going to see some A-list celebs, at least get subpoenaed.
Yeah.
Which I guess Jay-Z did. Or he didn't get subpoenaed, but there's
civil lawsuits that they're named in these things. And there's a lot of them. There's that place. There's a guy out in Houston, I think, that's handling 150 cases or so. And there's those civil lawsuits. But the lawsuits that, or the stuff where I thought they were going to be brought up was, are we going to find out that some of these people not only participated in this, but did so in a way that it compromised, they did things to other people, younger people, things like that. And there was none of that. There wasn't. And this whole case was about Casey Ventura and a few others. I thought it would be much bigger than this. For all the people that supposedly were at these parties. I was, where I think he might be in trouble. Well, traffic. He didn't traffic. If you want to bring in strippers or whatever from Vegas to Los Angeles and you're paying them tens of thousands of dollars to do so, it's hard to say you're trafficking them if you're paying them. Again, it's not about the morals. We're not arguing that part. We're arguing whether or not he's going to be guilty. And I could see where you could plant enough reasonable doubt in their minds. What if he would have said, I was just making adult films? It's hard to, there are adult films out there. for those of you not keeping score. You must be 18 or older to watch them.
And it's an irony that if you go and you pay a sex worker and you don't film it, you can be arrested for prostitution. But if you do film it for distribution, then you're not doing anything illegal. And it's the same
such a
thing.
bizarre.
It is.
Such a weird, it's art. One person said he was drugging and raping people. Well, their response is, you participated, you continued to come, you continued to show up. And they have text messages of people showing up and getting paid. So it's just, did they plant enough doubt?
Well, and were the drugs consensual?
Exactly. Well, yeah. I mean, if he's giving you cocaine or he's giving you all these drugs and you're taking them, he's not forcing you at gunpoint, because I'm sure there was some of that. Once they dropped those other big charges last week, that's when people started thinking, there's a chance he could get out of this. Then what do you do? Right? I mean, how much can you hang out with Bell?
A lot more than we do.
It'd be funny.
Oh. Wow, man. Kanye throws a big party for him.
Oh, yeah. Kanye's all over this.
The weird thing about this whole Diddy stuff is he used to, it was not only on social media, but he would put out press releases to get paparazzi to show up at the entrances to the parties.
Yeah.
And it was a big deal that you had to be on a certain list and you have to be dressed a certain way. And nobody had a clue what was going on after
after everybody left. Because there was a party and then there was
an
the
after
party.
And there was the party.
Yeah. So, and the party was the freak off. So that was the one where and then you would hear people say to other people, dude, you need to go home now. This is not for you. This is not for you. And where were those people? Because there were hundreds of people that participated, but we only heard from 8 people. I thought there would be a lot more than that. Is this going to be, I don't know. I don't know.
And it's still radio silence from all these celebs, man. They're not touching that with a 10-foot
Ashton Kutcher,
pole.
I'm looking at you. I don't know why, Ashton. I'm looking at you, Ashton. Okay? I'm looking at you. Just letting you guys know. By the way, the big, beautiful bill, still not passed.
Still doing the votorama.
That's right. Still doing the votorama. Currently, what was your thing? You said Chuck Schumer. Everybody gets a Chuck Schumer tongue depressor. What was it?
I can't remember, man.
What was it?
Oh, no, Chuck Schumer announces some sort of amendment that every public school student gets a personally signed bookmark.
Oh, look at that.
Bookmarker.
That is awesome. Unfortunately, none of the kids can read nowadays.
Exactly.
So they wouldn't even know what you put on there.
Yeah, it's in an effort to get kids to put down the phones and read actual books.
Which would be great, right? That would be awesome. But they're not going to, because why would you?
What if I wanted to read my book on my phone?
Well, that's fine, too.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have a problem with that. I don't think most people have. If you're going to really do that. Or what if Chat GPT is just going to tell me the answer?
Does an audiobook count?
Yeah, I think an audiobook counts.
Yeah, but you can't use a bookmarker on it.
No, you can't. That is true.
We're getting back to leather bound and paper printed.
Oh, that's right. Good old days, kids. And that's the good old days. That's what I'm talking about right there.
Did you ever use grocery sacks to cover your school books?
Of course I did.
I did too.
That was the best thing in the world. And my Peachy, because you got to have a Peachy, right? Remember the Peachy?
I don't remember the Peachy.
That's the folder that had like the basketball player on it.
Oh,
and stuff.
Yeah.
So Peachy, man, you got to, but absolutely, you had to cover your books with the old paper so you could write on them.
Yeah.
Doodle on them.
Yeah.
Those were
Try
the
to get
days.
pretty girls to say nice things about you.
All the time. Like, hey, Chad, thank you for letting me do your homework. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Man, I was going to make straight A's every first day of school.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I had my everything. I had pencils and pens neatly placed in my folders. Even a protractor one time.
Whoa! Dude, settle down. That's not cool.
Oh, man, I was going to do straight A's.
How'd you do?
Probably a C-.
You know what? C's get degrees.
I didn't fail.
Oh, I did a whole bunch. So much. There was a better chance of me getting a F than there ever was an A.
Why? You just didn't want to study?
Or didn't show up. That was always that, too.
Oh, you
It's like,
skipped a lot.
Chad is really smart, and he's hilarious. By the way, I haven't seen him for 2 weeks. I got things going on, Mom.
I got lucky with my mom. I could literally, and I couldn't do it like, 5 days in a row or anything, but I could call her up during school, and I'm like, I got to get out of here. Will you please call me out sick? She's like, you got any tests or something? Or what? Do you have any? No, it's nothing. It's nothing important today. I'm this is killing me. I need to go home.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, okay.
That's a cool thing that your mom would do that. My mom, man, she was so into school. Like, it was her jam. You're going to do well. My mother had a thing. You're going to go to church, you're going to play sport, and you're going to go to school.
You're going to do it all, boy.
I'll go to church, I'll play a sport. Every once in a while, I'll show up at school. So we'll agree to disagree on that one, Mom. I read a lot. I travel a lot. I'm getting a good education. My mom got to the point where she's like, you know what? I'm going to let you do you because this isn't going to work. And my sister, she went and got straight A's. She's a crackhead now.
I went to my last 3 years of high school just outside of Orlando, and there was one time when there was a little group of friends, probably four other people, and one of the girls was like, "Hey, we're skipping and going to Daytona Beach. Do you want to go with us?" And I called my mom, and I'm like, "I just had this really hot girl invite me to go to the beach. Please call me out." She's like, "Not a problem."
That's a good mom.
Awesome.
That is a good mom. That's a solid. That's a mom that cares. Okay, kids? That's what you should be doing. I would do that with my kid, too. If Jack called me, he's like, Dad, these hot chicks want to go to the river for the day. Mom won't let me go. And I'm like, well, you should go. I mean, that's what everybody would want you to do. I know Jesus would. Chad, it's true. Coming up, Chris, he's going to talk about serious stuff, as we did today, like Diddy.
Yeah,
right? Baked beans. Our Hallmark movie.
We talked about the Votorama.
We did. We did this on a few K. They voted and stuff. They're still talking about it right now. I see old Mark Kelly. Man, he gets mad at me, Senator Kelly, whenever I talk to him.
Oh, yeah?
From Arizona. Because he's like, don't ask. I'm like, I have to. What happened to all the aliens? I know you're in space. I know you believe it. And then he would not talk to me anymore. Man, he had no sense of humor either. Oh, he was such a duh. Good God. How hard is it to have a sense of humor?
And his brother seems just as dry as he is.
Oh, they're boring. They're astronauts. They're engineer nerds. They went to school and got straight A's. Huh? Look at them now. Coming up, we'll wrap up the show. I saw Chris earlier. We'll see what he has to say. My prediction is a little bit more on politics than we did today. We tried. It happened. But it was more interesting talking about baked beans and the Hallmark Channel. Chad Benson, Super Talk 99.7. Uh-oh. All hell breaks loose. Chris Hand is in today for Matt. As you were saying, we finally realized Matt is not as strong as he believes he was.
Yeah, I mean, I feel kind of bad. I feel like this facade's been torn down.
Yep, he's not indestructible. He's duped us in his pain management. I'll be fine. He can't walk it off.
He can't.
He can't. He's not going to be here all week. So tomorrow, I'll be in from 2 to 7. And tomorrow, you're going to do my show for a couple hours. And then we're back to the normal fill-in.
Yeah, musical chairs. It's a patriotic edition of musical chairs as we head to the 4th of July.
Somebody get Lee Greenwood. What's he up to? Nothing. Waiting for Trump's phone call.
What's up, man? What have you been talking about today?
Nothing, dude. We were supposed to talk about the big beautiful bill, and quite frankly, it's the vote-a-rama. Like, I don't even know what they're doing at this point.
Yeah, they have to do something else. They got to vote again.
Well, anybody can now add anything they want to it. So any Democrat can go, as Ken puts, they could come in and say everybody gets a free bookmark from, signed by Chuck Schumer.
Oh,
and they have to put that in the bill. Then this is a long, drawn out process. And once they're done here, it still has to go back down to the House, and then who knows what that even looks like. So
what's the over under that this gets done by July 4th? Sometimes when they have these deadlines, they get some stuff done.
They do, but I feel like this one's going to be a little bit different. I mean, I think it will, but will it be in time? Because our whole thought is Trump wants it done on the 4th because he wants to rappel out of a helicopter with a tank top on, like a Rambo headband that says MAGA on it. He's going to have like fireworks in one hand and maybe the bill in the other hand, and he's going to float into a chair and then
Don't forget the cape.
Yeah, the cape. He's got to have a cape. All of this is going to happen. And fireworks going off in the background. You got somebody said Lee Greenwood. I'm kind of over Lee. We're going to have Kid Rock and the Nuge rocking out, right?
YMCA.
Yeah, whatever it is, something like a mashup of stuff, and then he signs it all, and I think that's what he wants.
I feel like you're underestimating Trump if you don't think any of that's possible without the big, beautiful bill being done.
No, I think all of it's possible, but it doesn't.
A great point.
Yeah. We're still doing this, guys. I paid for the stuff.
We're rolling. We're rolling.
And underneath,
just give me an eagle instead of the bill, and I'll hold that.
He would love to hold an eagle. So we talked a little bit about that, but the rest of the time we talked about the travel weekend. Is it quiet? It seems pretty quiet out there.
Yeah, I was fine with it.
Yeah,
I've been loving the traffic.
Yeah,
last week and then this week.
Yeah, there's a lot of travel, and we talked about how much it's going to cost. What are you doing? Are you blowing up stuff?
Yeah, we'll blow up some stuff. My buddy Pete, he runs a fireworks tent, major fireworks.
Yeah.
If you need some fireworks in Murfreesboro.
Right. Are either of you going anywhere?
No,
I'm not. No,
I'm not going anywhere.
No, but
it's a 4-day weekend.
Yeah, it's a 4-day week, and we're going to relax.
Big hype.
So we're just excited because, like, the food, we're talking about all the stuff that you can make and how much it's going to cost this year compared to last year. Buns are down, but burgers are up. So it's a little bit more expensive.
It's all about the buns.
All about the buns, baby.
My kids are very excited. Every year I'll spend a stupid amount of money on fireworks.
Oh, we do too. It's ridiculous.
And like I shouldn't because when you're one and you're done.
What's a stupid amount?
Like, I don't know, $200, $300.
Yeah,
okay.
We're blowing stuff up.
So anyway, but I'll get the nice ones. And everybody like I enjoy those. But my kids will be like, okay, what about the pooping dog?
Oh yeah,
that's all they care
Everybody
about.
wants something like that, right?
It's like that's the highlight. I'm like, okay, this one's gonna blow a hole through the atmosphere, and they're like, okay, then we'll do the pooping dog. Yeah. Let's close with the good one.
We have little machine guns.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, it's all happening. The kids, but we're here now because when we were in Arizona, we were in the Valley of the Dirt People. They didn't care if you shot real machine guns.
That's true.
So here it's totally different. So
it's kind of a letdown.
Yeah, it is because we don't know where to go, where we can just like light stuff off and make things explode.
Where do you guys shoot tannerite around here? Do you anywhere? Is there a good
we
spot?
Got some napalm from this place over here. We're pretty excited about it, but we don't think we can do it in town.
Come on, guys, homemade Molotovs.
So what are you talking about?
Well, we'll talk about the big beautiful bill. We'll talk about the advancements in immigration and immigration enforcement. A lot of Iranians getting rounded up. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, I've noticed that.
A lot of Iranians and Haitians. Haitians aren't going to be allowed to stay as well.
Uh-oh. Hide your kids, hide your cats, hide your dogs.
Honestly.
Right? All the things. So, Chad, whatever. Shut up. Get over yourself. See, he's talking about real stuff. Now, tomorrow, It's going to be a long, extended version. Remember, it is Hot Take Tuesday.
Oh,
and,
it's a perfect day for you then.
And I'm going to go home tonight, and I'm going to start on our Nicolas Cage Hallmark movie. So be prepared, kids. It's going to happen.
Nicolas Cage Hallmark?
We're making one for him.
Special appearance by Keanu Reeves.
Oh, my goodness me.
I'm still bummed we didn't get Nicolas Cage as Superman.
That
should have happened.
That was such a great thing.
That should have happened.
It will, because you know what? I wanted to, and we have AI. Coming up next, Chris. Have a good one. We'll see you tomorrow.
Three o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast and traffic coming up in 5 minutes. And right now in Middle Tennessee, reports say Spring Hill City Hall's been evacuated out of a abundance of caution due to a bomb threat. Police and fire crews dispatched about half an hour ago. Residents being advised stay away from the area. Also in Nashville, Metro Police investigating after reports that a toddler shot themselves in the head with a gun that was not properly secured. The call went out just after noon today in the nations. Hope is growing for peace in Gaza as Israel appears to be getting closer to accepting the U.S. proposal to end the fighting. We get more from Tom Sufi Burridge in Tel Aviv.